Racing is in the blood of everyone from Indianapolis. And what mega match races would you want to see in Indy? AJ Foyt versus Helio Castroneves. Al Unser versus Louis Meyer. Jeff Gordon versus Jimmy Johnson. Jeff would win. Well, what about this meeting of heavyweights in Indy? Michigan with Lindeborg and Dusty. Arizona with Bradley and Lloyd. Two giants set to do battle in one of the greatest matchups the Final Four has ever seen. Both teams have won 35 games this season. Means it's only the fifth game in Final Four history featuring two teams with 35 wins or more. The two teams that's been the best all season finally give us the game that we've wanted to see all season. The Wildcats, the Wolverines, a W away from a championship game meeting with UConn. And hello one and all, I'm Matthew Owens. Welcome back to Indianapolis. Thanks for having us in on Final Four Saturday. Well, here we are. We've made it to Arizona and Michigan. This season saw some of the greatest non-conference games that a college basketball season has ever seen. Now, in the tournament, Michigan and Arizona are set to do battle in a great five-star non-conference NCAA tournament Final Four game. This has the hype of something that could end up being legendary, that we will forever talk about. Seth Eves, it's hard to live up to that kind of hype, but Michigan and Arizona might just do it.
Funny, you mentioned it. It's like you said, it's the one matchup we didn't get in the regular season. But ever since November, most people thought these were the two best or two of the best teams in the United States. Michigan with their early season domination of the Players era, and Arizona with some of their big wins, winning at UConn, beating Florida, winning at a virtual road game against Alabama. They have blown through two really good and really competitive conferences, and they've now met up, gone through. Michigan, a number one seed, the Wolverines, with comfortable wins in the end over Hampton, St. Louis, Alabama, and Tennessee to get to the Final Four, while Arizona took care of LIU, TCU, Arkansas, and Purdue. The last two were tough matchups against smoking hot teams, but the Wildcats were not fazed. Arizona hasn't won a championship since 1997. They're in the Final Four for the first time in 25 years. Michigan, meanwhile, in the Final Four for the first time in 8 years and looking for their first championship since 1989. Sorry, Pierre, just doing my job. So it's Michigan and Arizona, a matchup that most everybody wanted to see. And, I mean, look, Matthew, we've been on this from night one. You know I've been on Michigan, how high I've been on them since preseason. And we've both been pretty high on Arizona since we watched them beat Florida night one. And, you try not to get too excited because, if you set yourself up for something big, you'll end up being disappointed. But, God, if you're a fan of this sport, it's just hard not to be excited about what we've got on display in this game.
Yeah, it really is. The playmakers are everywhere. The coaches are great. They're going to be around for a long time, one in their late 40s, one in their early 50s. I mean, this really does hit the tone of heavyweight fight. It's going to be really exciting. Want to hear what Pierre thinks?
I was going to ask Pierre. So, Pierre, what do you think? Michigan, Arizona, been waiting. We've been waiting for this. What do you think?
I just hope it's what we've been waiting for. I mean, I'm hoping for a great game. I'm hoping for a high-scoring game. I'm hoping the refs stay out the way, unlike last night. And, again, two great coaches, two great programs. Let's see who comes out on top.
It should be a very, 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 very good game here tonight. Should be an absolute classic. It's an absolute classic. Arizona and Michigan, it's a classic. We hope it's a classic. And, well, one thing we know, the commentary is going to be classic because it's our man Matthew Owens who's on the mic. Big Mo, You were built for games like this. Take it away, partner.
See, now he makes these statements, and you can see me roll my eyes. Anyway, ready to go.
I actually did it, but I'll go back and look on the replay.
Arizona, as the higher overall seed in this tournament, will wear their home whites. Michigan will wear what is supposed to be dark blue uniforms. They basically look black with yellow numbers, maize numbers, and white trim. Arizona, the number 2 overall seed in this tournament. Michigan, the number 3 overall seed in this tournament. It really is going to be a heavyweight bout. Toughest team wins. Might not be the best team, but toughest team will win this one tonight. We've been waiting all year for Michigan and Arizona, and it's underway at the Final Four. Elliot Cadeau, the starting point guard for Michigan, controls as the Wolverines won the tap, and Cadeau will blast in towards the rim from the right, misses the layup, but the putback is good, and Michigan gets points on their first possession. Here's Arizona on the ball at the other end, and a quick trigger from 3. Straightaway miss off the glass by Braden Burries, the fantastic freshman. Michigan running the other direction, and they can absolutely fly when they put it into high gear. Here's Cadeau around a screen, drives in, running floater off the rim, no good. Burries snatches away the rebound, and he'll run the other direction. Arizona, one of the top rebounding teams in the country. Michigan's not too bad either with all of their size. Here's Ivan Karchenkov, slithers in from the left, climbs the lane line, drives and puts it up off the glass. It doesn't go. Rebound Michigan. Cadeau in space the other way. He'll pull for 3. Off the right side of the rim, no good. Rebound collected by Arizona's Koa Pete. Freshman out of Chandler, Arizona. He'll take it all the way to the other end and then loft it back outside. Bradley takes a high screen, gets to the right baseline. Traffic is there defensively for Michigan, so he plays it back to the perimeter. Around the horn and an entry feed for Pete. Back to the outside. Karchenkov on the deck, puts it up off the glass. It doesn't go, but he draws a foul. And how will this game be officiated? You heard Pierre Moss mention it a moment ago, hoping that the refs stay out of the way. These are 2 big, physical, muscular teams, and if every bit of contact is going to be called a foul, we might not have players left at the end of it to continue and get to 40 minutes. That foul was on the floor, so it'll be inbounded from underneath by Bradley, senior from Rochester, New York, one of the top point guards in the country. Bounced it into the left corner. Burries return for Bradley. Head fake, drives left baseline, goes in at Lindeborg, and draws a foul. And already 2 fouls committed by the Wolverines on this trip, and they've both been on Lindeborg. And can you believe this? Yaxel Lindeborg, one of the top players in the country, a consensus All-American, has picked up 2 fouls in the first 82 seconds. Bradley at the free throw line has the first one rim off, and this is an extreme amount of adversity for Dusty May in Michigan to battle through right from the start here, with Lindeborg going to the bench a minute 22 in after picking up a second foul. Bradley, in his 3rd season at Arizona after transferring in from Alabama, swishes in his second free throw. It's 2-1. Here comes Michigan from our right to our left into the front court with Cadeau. Right-handed dribble, gives it up top to the 7-footer from Spain, Adai Mara. Holds the ball left-handed, handoff Cadeau, throws up a lob. Mara tried to catch it in deep. It was knocked away from him by Mo Krivas, out of bounds. It'll stay with Michigan, and they'll inbound with 13 on the shot clock. Talked about the international flair of the Illinois roster. In our first game, there's a lot of international players in this game as Cadeau inbounds, and Namari Burnett out of the right corner sticks a 3. 5-1 start for Michigan. Arizona the other way, leaping up the right lane line. Koa Pete, his pull-up jumper from the baseline was halfway down and popped out. Burnett the rebound, and Cadeau into the front court. Back for Burnett, who gets a handoff outside right. Piece of confetti floating around here on the near left side of the floor as play continues. Cadeau takes a Mara screen, turns the corner at the foul line, and he hits a leaner. Was airborne quite a while to get that shot off, and Michigan off to a 7-1 start. Arizona again. Karchenkov puts it on the net, drives in for the left, and Cadeau was able to swipe it away, and he's got it the other direction. Off the turnover, Cadeau sends it to a driving Merez Johnson Jr., who gets to the rim, scores, plus a foul, and Michigan could not have asked for a better start than this. Merez Johnson Jr., sophomore from Riverdale, Illinois, transferred in from Illinois. Hits the driving layup, fouled by Bradley. That's a foul you never see Jaden Bradley make, and they gave Johnson continuation. So he's got a chance at a three-point play. Michigan up 9-1 out of the gates. Ninth Final Four appearance for this Wolverine program. Seth mentioned earlier, national champions in 1989. Johnson makes the free throw off the front lip and in. There's been a lot of the Michigan players on this team here recently talking about how this is the greatest Michigan basketball team ever assembled. They do need to win a championship to get the trophy that the 89 team did. Here's Koa Pete getting to the left elbow. Pull-up jumper around the rim and out. One and out go the Cats as Roddy Gale Jr., the transfer from Ohio State, rebounds. Ahead into the front court, Trey McKinney. Short corner left. Back to the outside for Johnson. Johnson then for Cadeau, who's gotten better and better as this season's gone on, as now the only point guard on this team. Running floater, right-handed, missed everything. Rebound Arizona. Pete into the front court. Stops top of the circle. Hits the brakes. Turns it outside. Krivas swings it left. Bradley gave it up on the wing. Burries. Reversal. Bradley again. Entry feed. Krivas. 7-footer from Lithuania. Loses it out of bounds against the defense of Johnson. Tried the spin move, a tight pivot, and he lost it. And Arizona is a team that does not turn the ball over much at all. 2 turnovers in the first 3 minutes and change, and they're one of the best shooting teams in the country. 9th in all of Division I college basketball in field goal shooting percentage at over 50%. They're 0 for their first 4 here tonight. Nervy start here for Arizona. Michigan taking advantage, and they're into the offensive end of the floor to our left. Mara, top of the key. Hands off for Cadeau. North Carolina transfer. Flashes in for the right, and his runner is blocked ferociously by Koa Pete. They both end up on the deck. Ball is out of bounds. It'll stay with Michigan. Pete with a ferocious rejection. One of the top freshmen that Arizona has ever had in the history of their proud program. 5-star recruit that was a 3-time Arizona Gatorade Player of the Year, and he was a 4-time Arizona State champion in high school. Inbound short corner right, Gale gets it to Mara, the 7-footer against the 7-footer Krivas. What a matchup of big men there, and Mara spins right, hooks it up off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound Arizona attacking to our right. Home white uniforms, dark blue numbers, red trim. They've yet to hit a shot from the field. Bradley staggers into the lane, pulls up with a 10-footer, and changes that as he sinks it in the mid-range, and that's Bradley's game. Michigan with a long pass the other way. Mara slapped away by Krivas. Mara trying to save it from going out of bounds. He couldn't. It's going to Arizona. Michigan turns it over there, and that'll lead us to a timeout. 4 minutes and a second in. Prolific start here for the Wolverines, as they've held the Wildcats to just one made shot through the first 4 minutes. It's 10-3, and Michigan, a team that, as we've learned throughout the season, can absolutely blitz you at any time, whether it's out of the gates, whether it's to start the second half, whether it's at a random 9-minute mark of a half. Michigan can blitz you, and Seth, they blitzed Arizona off the tap here.
They certainly have. It is a team that, no question about it, comes at you in waves. And right now, Arizona having to deal with that a little bit, but perhaps they've settled down. They've kind of gotten into the rhythm. And, of course, the Yexel Lindeborg, 2 fouls.
Now, I got to tell you, I got to say, I hate to interrupt you. I did the start of the Tennessee-Michigan game last week while Pierre was working on some technical stuff. So I did the start of that Tennessee-Michigan game, and the start of that game was officiated horribly. the start of this game has not been officiated horribly, but this is why we need the foul limit in college basketball to be 6. We have been building up to Arizona and Michigan all year and certainly all week. We don't want one of the best players in the country to now have to sit for the next, whatever Dusty May decides, 8 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, because he picked up 2 early fouls. Is part of that Lindeborg's fault for picking up the 2 fouls? Yes, it is. But we have gotten to the point in this game where the foul limit has to be more than 5. It just does. And we do not want to build up to this game to see Axel Lindeborg sit for 14 minutes out of the first 20. I'm sorry.
I'm with you. And listen, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of purists of the college basketball sense that do not, do not want to go to NBA light. But the 2 things that I am currently going to die on in there is 1, foul limit to 6, and 2, the men's game, get in line with everybody else and go to quarters.
Oh, yeah, wow.
I'm sorry, because people say, well, maybe, you don't know for sure that it's really. No, I tell you, I don't know what the time says. Just from a feel, as someone who watches and covers both, a lot of times women's games, even the ones that aren't overly playable, have a quicker flow to them than the men's games. Now, there's other factors like the foul situation as well, and less TV timeouts, but I mean, I don't know how you could watch. I know we're talking Michigan, we're going all over the place, and I'm going to let you go back to talking. I'm going to let you finish, but first, Kanye, the greatest album of all time, whoever it was. But anyway, actually, I do need to let you finish because they're getting ready to play it. More on the next time out.
Arizona inbounds to restart play. And the Wildcats have made just one of their first 5 from the field. Koa Pete dribbles his way into the lane, creates space against Mara, flips it up, it won't go, but slipping in is one of the best rebounders in the country, Tobe Awaka, the Tennessee transfer, gets the offensive board and taps it up and in off the glass. Second chance points, always something that Arizona normally dominates in. Oh, wow! At the other end, Gale out of the right baseline throws up a lob to the heavens, and Mara, the 7-foot Spaniard, catches and dunks. Arizona at the other end quickly, and a right-handed layup flipped up off the baseline. Karchenkov couldn't get it to drop. Another offensive rebound by Awaka, and a foul is called on the floor against Michigan. And this one against Mara. So Lindeborg already in the foul trouble that we've documented. Now Mara picks up a quick foul. Arizona to inbound from underneath. In the far left corner, Anthony Del Orso. Back to the perimeter, turns the corner. Feeds Karchenkov. Pass was deflected. Karchenkov had it. Then he lost his balance. He fell down, and he's called for a travel. It's another Arizona turnover. What a tremendous matchup of styles this is. Michigan, a team that turns up the tempo, scores very quickly, 88 points a game, 8th most in the country. Arizona, a team that scores a lot of points too, 86.5 a game, 12th most in the country, but they do it in such a different way. They rarely speed up the tempo. They're very efficient. They rarely shoot threes. Cadeau in transition, brings it up, swings it cross court. Trey McKinney catches, drives into the paint, kicks it out top. Johnson with a jab step, and now a return to McKinney. Johnson sets a screen, fades away, and McKinney will shoot a 3 over the top of the Arizona defense. Left wing, no. Offensive rebound, Johnson. Back to Mara underneath the cylinder, and he lays it in with the left. 14-5, Michigan in front. Mara outscoring Arizona right now, 6-5 on his own. Pete spins high post right, turns it back outside. Del Orso dribbled into traffic. Cadeau took it away, threw it ahead in transition quickly. McKinney behind the pack to the rim, dunks it down with the right hand. And Tommy Lloyd, who just signed a big extension with Arizona for the next 5 years, will take a timeout here. It's all Michigan early, 16-5. Cadeau has been so active on both ends of the floor to start. Remember, Cadeau delayed in getting to Indianapolis earlier in the week. Well, he looks to be fully healthy now. North Carolina transfer, and they drove him out of Chapel Hill. A lot of the fans drove him out of Chapel Hill with toxic social media messages to him. Transferred out of Chapel Hill, and I bet Hubert Davis and the folks in Chapel Hill would have liked him on the team this year. Cadeau with a great start, Seth. And Michigan with a 16-5 lead. So we say hi to our good friend Redbox in the comments. Says if Michigan wins tonight, it's all but certain I win my pool. So he's excited. He also says, here we go. Here's a comment. Y'all are blasting through my apartment tonight on the big JBL speaker. Are my roommates trying to study? Probably. But there's March Madness on. Great to have you with us.
You know what? That's the best thing he's ever said. That is the best thing he has ever said. But I want to go back to the point about the quarters. Real quick, of course, like in terms of because in quarters, they have like fewer TV timeouts. And I'm sorry. In terms of flow of the game, you can't sit there and watch that UCLA UCF last minute and then tell me you want that to be the status quo.
Oh my God.
You don't want something changed if you're sitting through the last minute of that? I mean, it was humorous to hear you talk about some things, but at the same time, it should not take 18 minutes to play a minute. There's a clip JT can clip for out of context. It should not be 18 minutes to play a minute.
Yes, that's exactly right.
I mean, now it did create one funny moment from you, with your head. Why are we at the monitor? And Pierre, oh God, and then you with your hands, just like.
Well, the other thing, too, about the women's game and the quarters that they play, it also resets the bonus. So like Illinois tonight got into the bonus with like 9 minutes left in both halves. It resets the bonus. There's less media timeouts. That's why it'll never happen. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. That's why it'll never happen on the men's side, because there's less media timeouts. Can't get these 5-minute ads in. I swear, the media timeouts in the tournament. God Almighty, help me, Jesus.
Well, it feels like it feels like that. Sorry, these media ads are like supposed to be like it feels like you're watching a Ken Burns documentary before you get to the end of the timeout.
Anyway.
It's like under 16 timeout, part 1 of Ken Burns' baseball, then more basketball after this. I mean, God Almighty.
More complaining from the curmudgeons at the next timeout. It's 16-5. Michigan, Arizona out of the timeout, brings it up the floor from our left to our right. Jaden Bradley, always the calm, cool, and collected character, tries to set the offense. Hands off for Burries. Fantastic freshman from San Bernardino, California. Swings it up the middle to Awaka. Now off right wing, Dwayne Aristode into the game. Slips it left corner. Burries head fake. Back to Aristode. Left wing three. Fired and knocked down. Net barely ruffled as Aristode, freshman from the Netherlands, knocks down a triple. A 4-star recruit that's barely played 7 minutes a game in this tournament. Tommy Lloyd turning to him here as they search for answers. Meanwhile, Cadeau, he'll line up a left wing three and splash it down. Elliot Cadeau having a fantastic start to this national semifinal game on both ends of the floor. Meanwhile, for Arizona, out of the left corner, Berries rose up, faked the three. Gale was on him defensively. Bounced in for Krivas. 7-footer versus 7-footer. Here's Krivas, backs down on Mara, gets a paint touch, and turns to his right. Over the shoulder flip is good. Mo Krivas from Lithuania, 7-2 versus 7-3 Spaniard Adai Mara. That's 14 feet 5 inches of man. Cadeau swings it into the right corner. Gale up for three. Off the heel, no. Awaka, one of the most physical rebounders in college basketball, away with that one. Pushed ahead. Bradley in transition commits an offensive foul. Cadeau was in front of him. Bradley put his shoulder into the chest of the Michigan point guard, tumbled him over. It's an Arizona turnover. They have 3 turnovers here in these first 7 minutes. And that is a play that you never see Jaden Bradley make. You never see Jaden Bradley out of control. And now he's picked up his second foul in the first 7 minutes. One of the Michigan stars, one of the Arizona stars, both with 2 fouls. But Lindeborg is back on the floor here for Dusty May. He's got to be oh so cautious. Cadeau sachets his way to the top of the circle. Awaka out there defending him. How about that? A 4 guarding a 1. Cadeau threads a bounce pass, lunging his way inside. Merez Johnson shuffled the feet. He's called for a travel. Michigan, the team among these two where turnovers could really bite them more so than Arizona. Michigan turns it over 12 times a game on average, and they've really been in their losses. Turnovers has been a huge turning point of those games that they've lost. Of course, they've only lost 3 all year. Burries with a running floater just inside the foul line, missed everything. Michigan with the rebound. Cadeau into the front court to our left. High, hard dribble. Energizer Bunny drives inside. Kicks to the left corner. Lindeborg got for 3. Around the rim. Then it popped up, kissed off glass, and went down. And Lindeborg's got his first points at the Final Four. UAB transfer, one of the best stories in the country. Tobey Awaka lines up a dead on 3, misses off the heel. Cadeau the rebound, brings it back the other way. Michigan with a 22-10 lead. Cadeau looks to extend it with a 3. Top of the key, too strong. Rebound to Waka, flexed on ahead in transition for Del Orso. Hits the brakes, calms down the pace, and it's into the hands of Aristode. Aristode cuts left on the dribble. Left elbow, try to lob. Lindeborg knocked it away. Loose ball to Trey McKinney. Accelerates to the rim at the other end, and he gets tied up by Burries. Ball's out of bounds off of Burries. It'll stay with Michigan, and we've got a timeout on the floor with 11:34 to go in this first half, and Dusty May's Michigan Wolverines off to a terrific start, 22-10, as Lindeborg gets the friendly bounce, a couple of friendly bounces, first from the rim, then from the glass on that 3. And Dusty May showing a lot of trust and confidence in the All-American Lindeborg to send him out here so early with 2 fouls already tagged onto him. Michigan, as I mentioned, has lost 3 times this year, Seth Eves, by 3 to Wisconsin at home, by 5 on a neutral court to Duke, by 8 on a neutral court in the Big Ten Tournament Final to Purdue. That is it. That is all of the Michigan losses. Those 3 by a combined 16 points. On the other end of that spectrum, 16 wins by 20 points or more, 11 by 30 points or more. I mean, they've been one of the best teams from the word go on this season.
They have. And you know what's, and you know, for those of you that, again, might not be overly familiar, you know what's scary? And surely Arizona knows this. But you know what's scary? They're a second-half ball club. If I'm an Arizona fan, I would be this close to putting the Ralph Wiggum chuckles, I'm in danger meme. I mean, yeah, by the way, can I just say, that is a bold flex by Dusty putting Lindeborg back in that quickly.
That's a confident, it's a confident coach.
Yeah, well.
He does not lack for confidence. I mean, the coaching matchup in this game is ridiculously good. Tommy Lloyd, 5th season as a college basketball head coach. They've all been at Arizona. 148 wins, the most ever by a Division I coach in his first 5 seasons. He's 148 and 35. That's a winning percentage of .809. That's pretty good. And he's the first Arizona coach to win 20 or more games in each of his first 5 seasons at U of A. And, of course, the big story this week was that he signed an extension with the university. He'll be an Arizona Wildcat coach until at least 2031. There were several calls made to him from Chapel Hill, trying to get him to come, well, east and south to be the next head coach at the University of North Carolina. Turned it down. The World Feed is now listening to us. We do have people that listen to us, but this might be the first time a World Feed has ever listened to us. Look at us go. Lloyd will...
It's like NASCAR on NBC all over again.
Well, you know, Lloyd was an assistant at Gonzaga under Mark Few for 20 years. Michigan inbounding out of the timeout into Lindeborg, who then tapped it to the right corner. McKinney caught it, launched a 3 out of the corner pocket, missed. Rebound finally comes to Del Orso after it was fumbled by Karchenkov, and Arizona has it. Burry sets the offense, feeds it at the head of the key, Krivas, now back to Del Orso, drives in from the left, stops in the paint, pull-up jumper, 10-footer misses, and the rebound again controlled by Michigan, 2-on-2 the other way, Lindeborg hits the accelerator, now he'll slow down the pace as Arizona gets back defensively. Feeds Cadeau off left wing. Del Orso, the Australian, defends. Cadeau steps to his left. Swings it cross court. That pass too tall for Minnesota's Will Cheddar to grab. It's out of bounds to Arizona. Will Cheddar from Stewartville, Minnesota.
Now hold on a minute.
Yes.
What about his cousin, Will Mozzarella?
Well, of course, you think of the name like Cheddar, you wouldn't be from Minnesota. You'd be from across
Wisconsin.
across the Cheddar curtain in Wisconsin. Here's Wisconsin on.
Exactly.
Here's Arizona on the ball, and Burries will line up a right corner three. That swirls around and drops out. Rebound to Cheddar, pushed ahead for Cadeau. Cadeau threads it inside. Johnson to the rim, and he has it rejected, swatted back at him, and Johnson ends up on the deck. He looks to be okay, but Mo Krivas again comes up with an emphatic rejection. Cadeau with a bounce pass between two defenders to a cutting-in Johnson. They actually called a foul before the block by Krivas. So Johnson's going to go to the line. Krivas, the fourth leading shot blocker in the Big 12. And you watch him block shots and you're like, good God, who are the other three ahead of him? Johnson to the line here. Knocks down the first. 23-10 lead here for Michigan. Great start for Dusty May's team, both offensively and defensively here, as this Arizona team, for the first time all season long, has looked just a little bit beyond their depths. Johnson's second free throw is good, makes it 24-10. And that officially makes it Arizona's largest deficit of the season. So earlier tonight on this court, Illinois faced their largest deficit of the season. Now Arizona faces theirs as the Wildcats inbound. Up top, it's handled by Karchenkov. Looks to his left, directs it that way. Del Orso with an entry feed. Krivas going to try to shoulder his way in on Mara. Krivas up with the right hand off the heel, no. Rebound, Trey McKinney. Here comes Michigan the other direction with Lindeborg. Lindeborg spins to the top of the circle, muscles his way inside, flips it up, high off the glass, right-handed, no. Offensive rebound, Mara flips it back up and in off glass. It's 26-10 as Mara puts in the second chance points past the midway point of the first half. Here comes Arizona the other way. Koa Pete trying to take over, spins to his right, in the lane, gets to the rim, lays it in off glass. Quick two for Koa Pete in Arizona, and Pete's going to have to be really aggressive the further this game goes on, it seems. 9:35 to go in the first half. Michigan ball outside left, Lindeborg turns to the middle, rifles a one-handed pass onto the wing for McKinney. McKinney at the top of the circle, jitterbugs his way inside, lost the ball. Del Orso was able to swipe it away, and it's stolen by Burries. Burries in transition, Euros to the rim, and his layup is rejected from behind by McKinney. Out of bounds, it'll stay with Arizona. Another big block. No Rennie Arnoux around here, just a lot of big blockers as McKinney from behind swats it away from Burries. There's absolutely not a soul on this earth other than the two that are in this call that knows what that means.
Exactly.
Welcome to the Inside Jokes Grand Prix. Inbound from underneath, Bradley. Loops it in. Pete catches right of the lane. Knifes his way in against Lindeborg. Leans in and scores. Whoa, and Lindeborg fortunate not to have picked up his third foul there. They swallow the whistle, but Pete muscles that up and in. 26-14, 9 minutes to go. Here's Cadeau, puts it on the deck, winds his way through a couple of defenders, backpedals to the right corner, plays catch on the perimeter with Lindeborg. Cadeau a jab step at Krivas, centered ball, top of the arc. Lindeborg drives in, and he got tagged hard on his way in. He tumbles to the ground, foul is called. The clock stops with 8:51 to go. Wow, as he took flight, he collided legs with someone, might have been Krivas. And Lindeborg is shaken up a bit. He has gotten up, but boy, he's really looks like it was a wild-looking play, and he went in with so much reckless abandon, as Lindeborg often does, and hopefully he's okay. One of the top players in all of college basketball all season long, Jaxel Lindeborg, who had 3 seasons at Arizona Western College. Gosh, and as he drove in, I thought his leg or knee collided with someone. Actually, it looked like it just hyperextended a bit. He's walked it off, it looks like, and he's going to the free throw line to take these shots, and the first one is good. Then after 3 seasons at Arizona Western, played 2 seasons at UAB, and now 1 year at Michigan, where he has been one of the best players in the country. As I said, consensus All-American, Player of the Year in the Big Ten. Knocks down the second free throw. It's 28-14. And hopefully he'll be okay after... Oh, I see what it was there. Okay, that was a good look at the replay finally. When he leapt into the lane and that left leg stretched out, he just got the end of the shoe of Krivas. Ankle turned a bit, and the leg slid out from underneath him. Clock running as Arizona inbounds. Pete staggers to the foul line. Pull-up jumper, line drive, no, but a foul called. And Lindeborg has been taken off of the Michigan bench, and he is going to the locker room here. So as far as Michigan is concerned with their best player, Jaxel Lindeborg, just a disastrous start, picked up 2 fouls within the first minute and a half, and now he is off the bench and going to the dressing room after a turn of an ankle and on some level a hyperextension of that left knee. Meanwhile, Koa Pete at the free throw line makes his first, 28-15. And we'll try to follow up on the status of Jaxel Lindeborg. One more for Koa Pete at the line, and he has really picked up the aggression meter himself here as he's trying to will his team off this bad start. Second free throw is good. 12-point margin here. And here come the Wolverines back into the front court with Cadeau. Tosses on the perimeter to Mara. Back for Cadeau. Puts his head down. Dribbles to the top of the circle. Flexes it back to the perimeter on the far side. Burnett. Now Mara. 7-footer with a touch right up top. 18 feet away from the basket. Gives to Cadeau. Angles in from the right. High floater. Off the glass. No. Rebound. Stratford. Cadeau came up with it. Tossed it up on the rim. Would not fall. Rebound down to Burries. 3-on-3 the other way. Michigan gets back defensively. Burries hits the brakes. Centers for Krivas, who feeds it to the left corner. And the 3 is knocked down. Ivan Karchenkov hits a triple for Arizona. Finding their range, shooting the ball a little bit here, and Arizona's on a 9-2 run. Here's Mara straddling the arc at the top of the key. Right-handed dribble. Turns to an angle. Hands off Cadeau. Gets going downhill. Stopped on the elbow by an Arizona double team. Threads a bounce pass across to Mara. Nearly tipped away. He was able to guide it on for Burnett. Back to Mara. He's going to line up a 3. It spins off the rim. No good. Rebound taken by Burries. Mara hardly ever shoots 3. Just 9 on the season. That was his 10th. Here comes Bradley for Arizona now. On a bit of a run. Here's Pete. High post right. Bounce pass inside. Krivas going to work against Mara with the left. Feathers it up and in off the front of the rim. And here comes Arizona. 28-21 off the basket from Krivas, and we've got a timeout on the floor, taken by Michigan. So Krivas with the touch on the inside, following Karchenkov. You know, he's 6'7". He's the run of the bunch, hitting a 3. And it's 28-21, 7-point game.
Is the thing. Did you do the thing?
Yeah. Yeah, not this time.
By the way, hearing reports that he's getting that Lindeberg's getting ice and tape, and he should be back out.
Well, again, he was going to be off the floor for quite a bit in this half with those 2 quick fouls, but they didn't want him off the bench and into the locker room. But hopefully he'll be okay. Now, one of the major talking points in the build-up to this game, Seth, has been Arizona's reliance on the 3, which is almost nil in this quote-unquote new age of basketball where so many teams rely on the three, and Michigan will shoot and take a lot of threes themselves. Arizona, I mean, they just don't take them. They average 6 makes from three a game. They take 16. That is 339th in the country in makes from three, 360th in the country in three-point attempts. But from two-point range, 24.5 two-point makes per game. That's second in the country. 44.5 two-point attempts, second in the country. Arizona does not rely on the long ball. But right now, they are struggling to impose their will on the inside, as they've done just about everyone else this season.
I mean, amazing how it all works.
By the way, big tip of the cap to best producer in the world, JT. He kept that scoreboard tight at 246.
With no TV pictures as well.
Exactly right.
Awesome, amazing, nice one.
I think I'm just about done talking because there's nothing else I can say about him that I haven't already said.
Don't you just love when TV pictures like reset at 2:46 every single day because the main skybox restarts and resets? So all I will say is good luck recording anything between 2 and 3 a.m. because it'll get cut off at 2:46.
That damn bastard skybox.
Yeah, indeed.
Gotta tell you. Well, it'll never.
By the way, Matthew, you want to tell us what the new owner of Enterprise is?
Michigan has missed 6 of their last 7 shots from the field, while Arizona has made 4 of their last 5 after a sluggish start for the Cats. Seth told you earlier, first Final Four for Arizona in a quarter of a century. That seems impossible to even believe, but it was Minneapolis in 2001. Last time they were at a Final Four, they beat Michigan State on Saturday of that tournament, lost to Duke on Monday. So here's Michigan up the floor. 7 straight points here to Arizona to make it a 7-point game. Cadeau directs a bounce pass to his right. Gale tries to weave through defenders, gets in the paint, kicks it out. Johnson, quick feed. Cadeau turns the corner, lost it into the right corner where launching a 3, Burnett misses offside rim. Rebound down to Arizona and Krivas. Pushed ahead in transition. Burry slows it down. Now Krivas up top. Head fake, swings it left. Bradley, we've got a whistle. Away from the ball, a foul. It's on Mara. Mara has just picked up his second foul. He and Awaka were jousting down low. And basically 13 minutes into this game, Mara and Lindeborg each have 2 fouls for Michigan. And Dusty May letting the official on the far side over by the Michigan bench, letting his displeasure be heard. Now the teams are separating and going to their respective benches. I wonder if Dusty May's challenging here and saying that Awaka should have been called for a hook and hold. Now, that would be the only reason why the teams have gone back to their benches here, is if there's some kind of challenge. Not sure what the challenge verbatim is, but we've got a Michigan challenge or appeal. There we go with this conversation again. Absolutely no one understands what the difference is between an appeal and a challenge. But apparently we've made it all season long without hearing a difference between the two, and now we make it to the most important time of the year. Now there's a difference between challenging and appealing. What the hell is this, SVU? It is officially an appeal.
By the way, no, it's not SVU because we're not on USA.
That's, yeah.
Matthew,
Yes.
how many steps are you allowed to take before it's a travel again?
That's a great question. It's supposed to be.
Nobody really knows, JT.
It's supposed to be no more than 3.
Okay, because then it might be a travel they're looking at.
Well, I don't think
We'll
that
see.
is appealable. Call on the court was a common foul on Michigan. It is a Michigan appeal here. And I think they're about to get the verdict inside Lucas Oil Stadium here. Well,
that
maybe.
The appeal was unsuccessful. Michigan will be charged a timeout. Arizona's ball on the baseline with 22 remaining on the shot clock.
So
they were looking at whether it was a flagrant, Matthew.
So the appeal is unsuccessful. And if they were looking to see if it should be a flagrant on a Waka, then that was a dumb appeal. That was more
That's
of a,
what I heard anyway.
That was more of Dusty May being frustrated there. So Mara, the second foul stands on him, and Michigan loses a timeout. So they've only got 2 left for the final basically 27 minutes of the game. Arizona the inbound, chipping away at the early deficit. Bradley loops a pass inside. Krivas, mid-post left, backing in on Johnson. They blitz him with a double. Krivas shrugs off Cadeau and hooks it up and home. Mo Krivas is a monster. 9 straight points to Arizona. They're within 5 here. That was a total discard of Cadeau there. Meanwhile, here's Johnson for Michigan. Cadeau trying to get open, he can't. So Johnson feeds it into the left corner. Burnett drives baseline. Cuts it back to a cutting Gale down the lane. And the Buckeye turned Wolverine dunks that one down. First points in a while for Michigan. Now Burries at the other end. Looks right. Feeds it left. Krivas at the foul line. He'll drive his way inside. Goes right into the body of Morez Johnson Jr. and the foul is called. It's against Johnson. It's on the floor. It's the 6th team foul on Michigan. So Arizona not in the bonus yet, but they will be off the next Michigan foul, but they're going to call that in the act of shooting. So Krivas will shoot 2. And Mo Krivas here. Talked about Koa Pete earlier. Turning up the aggression meter. Krivas is doing it as well. Lithuania has produced a lot of terrific basketball talent the last, 2-3 decades. You got a good one here with Krivas. That foul on Johnson, his second. 3rd Wolverine with 2 fouls in this first half. Krivas has missed his first free throw. Meanwhile, Yaxel Lindeborg looks like he is. He's coming out from the tunnel, from the locker room. He's walking back towards the court. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. The end zone is 20 yards away from Yaxel Lindeborg, walking gingerly with a towel over his head. Krivas.
Stop it! Just stop!
And you don't like it when I call you Kevin Harlan. That's a Kevin Harlan thing if ever there was one.
Krivas misses the second, but it's lassoed back in by Karchenkov, and there's another Michigan foul. And now Arizona is in the bonus. So Karchenkov reached up and snatched the rebound off the miss. And we've got another foul going against Michigan. That one is on Trey McKinney. Lindeborg has arrived back at the Michigan bench. Of course, we've got the raised court here. It's another thing that we have to have because when we have these things at football stadiums, the bench, is a flight of stairs down from the court. 1-1 here, and Karchenkov missed the front end. 3 straight foul shot misses from Arizona. Rebound secured that time by Burnett. And with 6 minutes to go in the half, here come the Wolverines. Dressed in very dark blue, Mays numbers, white trim, attacking first half from right to left. Down with a dribble at the top of the key. Johnson spins his way inside. Still on the floor with 2 fouls. Gets in on Krivas, hooks it up, halfway down, and it popped out. Krivas, the rebound, snapped it ahead in transition. Bradley hits the brakes with a left-handed dribble, off right arc, fakes left, goes right, change of direction, pull-up jumper, right of the lane, misses off the rim, rebound down to Cadeau. Michigan with numbers the other way, but Arizona gets back defensively. Cadeau a no-look pass, cutting towards the rim, Burnett with a beautiful reverse layup. Elliot Cadeau is playing a tremendous first half of basketball here, and with all the foul trouble on many of his teammates, he's going to have to keep this level up. Karchenkov staggered down the paint. Kicked it into the right corner where Pete handed off for Bradley. Bradley turns the corner, commits an offensive foul. And Bradley has picked up another foul now. His 3rd. And he goes straight to the official on the near side. He wants an explanation. Koa Pete, a freshman that's Wise, well beyond his years, gets between Bradley and the official. Oh my goodness. Well, Pierre Moss told us at the start, we hope that the officials stay out of the way. They most certainly have not done that. That is not an offensive foul, and it never should be. Burnett flopped. Oh my God. Bradley didn't even extend the arm a bit. At the other end, Cadeau puts it on the net, drives in for the left, layup partially blocked, follow would not go from Johnson, who got it back, kicked it up top. McKinney fires away and rips the cords from downtown. A straight on three, and Michigan's back ahead by 12. That is never, ever, ever an offensive foul that was just called on Bradley. That is absolutely ridiculous. Oh, my Lord. Arizona back the other way. They've got to put that out of their mind if they can, but then Burries had to pick up the dribble on the far side. He got tied up, and we've got a timeout taken by Arizona. Arizona has taken their second timeout. Both teams will only have 2 timeouts for the second half. Meanwhile, Yaxel Lindeborg is off of the Michigan bench once again and being taken to the Michigan locker room. We got it all going on right now, and it's the most anticipated Final Four game in a long, long time. The officials are trying to ruin it. We got also one of the best players on the floor back into the locker room for a second time. But I'm sorry, that is not an offensive foul any day of the week, Seth. That was a weak call. That is so garbage. Can't even come up with it.
Well, I'm going to reword a tweet you put out last night after a certain game. Never underestimate college basketball officials' ability to make everything about themselves.
That's pathetic. This is so... Oh, Lord. Lindeborg is back into the locker room for Michigan. Meanwhile, Dusty May has put Adai Mara back on the floor with 2 fouls. You got May dealing with 3 Michigan players with 2 fouls, and Bradley, the heart and soul of the Arizona team, with 3. We still got better than 4 minutes left in the half. Play continues on off the inbound. Burries gets to the foul. Got another foul. I said earlier, you cannot make every bit of contact in this game a foul because you're not going to have any players left. They'll be out of players with 5 minutes to go. Burries, who is scoreless in this first half, will go to the line. Freshman from San Bernardino. Leading scorer on this Arizona team with 16 points per game on the season. Front end of the 1-and-1 is good. He's averaging 18 a game in this tournament. In fact, he's been in double figures every game of the tournament, including scoring 23 in their Sweet 16 victory over Arkansas. Shooting 58% from the field in the tournament, too, but he hasn't made a shot from the field tonight, 0 of 4. Does hit both free throws. 35-25 as we play inside the final 5 minutes of this first half. Michigan has led from the jump and led by a comfortable margin from the jump as Gale initiates the offense. Right elbow, pitched it back outside. McKinney along the arc, right to left. Gave it up top for Mara. Mara hands off. Cadeau has had a great half. He drives in here, floats it up off the glass. No. Rebound reached at and grabbed by Arizona's Mo Krivas. Ahead in transition, Pete. He's going to take some stopping, and Pete missed the layup, and then Krivas crashing in, missed the putback. Michigan with the rebound, and they want to push the tempo yet again. They always do. McKinney pitched it back. Cheddar fakes a 3. Left elbow, kicks right corner. Free to fire for 3 is Gale, and he pours in the 3. Roddy Gale Jr. out of the corner pocket with a hit from distance. Well, Michigan has withstood the Arizona wave, and now the lead is back to 13. Tommy Lloyd cannot take a timeout to try to stop this run either. He's already taken 2 in this half. Outside left, Burries nearly lost it. Krivas was there to scoop it back up. Now Burries again gets to the left elbow. Pull-up jumper off the heel, no. Fight for the rebound. Foul is on Arizona. It's on Krivas. Let's get him 2 more fouls. Sure. Timeout on the floor. 3:21 left. Michigan by 13. Bet Tommy Lloyd at the halftime interview won't curse on television at Tracy Wolfson. I'm not making excuses, but I'm going to proceed to make excuses. That's what we heard last night.
Matthew,
Oh.
Yes.
you know what this is like, right?
What is this like?
This is like, you get a foul, everyone gets a foul.
It is that. I mean, Oprah Winfrey, official at the Final Four. Now let's bring Maury Povich in, too. I mean, my God, get them all in. They could officiate this game better.
Well, my God, man, Maury's got a sports podcast. So... Oh, my God.
I mean, this is...
this most anticipated game in recent memory in the Final Four, and we're turning it into a ref show.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, listen, I understand not wanting it to be a... Listen, I get it. It is hard as hell to find that fine line. Because you don't want to be like UCLA, Texas last night, where you're just letting it go and are asleep at the wheel. But you got to let them play a little bit.
Yeah, this is really disappointing from Keith Kimball, Doug Sermons, and Doug Schals, the officiating crew.
Doug Schals, yep,
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something about Doug Schals, man, and he did something I didn't think about. He was having me side with Kentucky fans about officiating. I did that Kentucky-Arkansas game this year. He was out of freaking control in that game. How in the hell did he get this game?
Yeah, and again, the officials don't get Final Fours randomly like this. The officials, as they go throughout the season, and particularly the first 4 rounds of the tournament, they get graded on their performances. And then the grades, that's how they get Final Four assignments. But I'd like to know who's grading things, because this crew's got an F.
Doug Schals and Tony Padilla. I mean, if you get any one of those two in a game, you are cooked.
By the way, tremendous comment from our guy Redbox. Who's the British guy?
Oh, that's the Redbox. I'll fill this one next. This is the infamous JT I was telling you about in a recent conversation.
Yeah, he said, "Who is that British guy? Is that JT?" And then JT comments, "Yes, hello. I am existing today on scoreboard duty tonight. 3:04 a.m.
Oh, so
right
he actually
now."
was. Oh my! Of course, JT responded to him. Son of a bleep. This guy's amazing.
3:11 a.m. and I kind of need to be leaving the house at 5:30 a.m. to go to Brands Hatch, aka no sleep for JT.
That should be a hashtag.
Don't give him any ideas.
Yes. Michigan inbounds, brings up the floor with Cadeau. Cadeau gets the bounce pass on a return up top from Mara, then got forced away by Awaka, slipped it cross court. Cheddar catches out of the left corner, rises for 3, missed it short. Rebound taken by Ivan Karchenkov. Here comes Arizona. Really needs to win these last 3 minutes of the first half. They trail by 13. Off a screen, Anthony Del Orso backpedals, bounce pass inside for Awaka, knocked away by Mara. Awaka recovers, shoulders his way in. Amidst a double team, Awaka flips it up and in. Awaka's second field goal. Arizona within 11. Still Yaxel Lindeborg in the locker room for Michigan. Trey McKinney top of the key. Dumps it down inside for Mara, who gets bumped underneath the cylinder and scores anyway. Mara's got a chance at a 3-point play. He took a big bump from Awaka. Now that's a foul. And Awaka, I'm not even sure if Awaka knew what he was doing here. But he basically gave a forearm into the back of Mara, who was able to launch it up and in off glass, and a chance at a 3-point play. 7-footer bends the knees and hits the free throw. It's 41-27. Think about Michigan right now. Yaxel Lindeborg is clearly in pain. He's barely played in this half. He's in the locker room right now. Got 3 different players with 2 fouls. And they've scored 41 points and they're up by 14. Sure. Here's Arizona on the ball. Up top, a drive inside by Karchenkov. He lost it out of bounds, and it's going to Michigan. My goodness. An Arizona turnover. They have committed 8 in this first half. They average less than 11 a game. 8 in the first 17 minutes and change here. Here's Cadeau. Throws up a lob. Mara volleyball taps it up and in. Another basket for Mara. He's got 13. Another assist for Cadeau. At the other end, Pete spins, flips it up over Mara. No. Offensive rebound, Awaka comes down to the right block. Kick outside. Karchenkov loads up a 3. That's too strong. Rebound, Mara. Rifles an outlet up the left side of the floor for Cadeau. Cross court, he feeds McKinney. He wanted to step into a 3 from a mile out. Thought better of it. Now it's Mara up top, and a foul is called on the floor as Mara got contacted by Burries. Listen, Elliot Cadeau has taken a lot of shots in this first half, and he's missed a lot. He's 2 of 12 from the field right now. Don't let that tell you that he's not having a heck of a first half. 5 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. He's come up with 3 steals. I know 2 of 12 looks bad shooting, but Elliot Cadeau is having a tremendous first half. Mara makes the first free throw. How about Mara? The foul line, 55% for the season, but he's 3 of 3 here. 1 more to go. JT, ever observant, has changed the scoreboard colors for Michigan because the bonus was not showing up. Yellow on yellow, yellow on maize. So he's made it the dark blue of Michigan, which is what they're wearing on the court. So that should have been what it was to start with. Shows you what kind of an idiot I am. Mara hit the second free throw and now goes to the bench. He'll get a breather. Might not come out for the rest of this half. 18-point Michigan lead. Arizona has not even been close to trailing by this much all season. But Anthony Del Orso out of Melbourne strokes a 3 off left wing. Meanwhile, at the other end, quick trigger from Burnett, left corner 3, misses! Johnson parachutes in and dunks it down on a putback plus a foul! Merez Johnson Jr. from the top of the rafters, flying in to dunk down the putback, plus the harm on a foul against Awaka. So off of the Del Orso 3-point shot, Johnson will try to cancel it out with a 3-point play. What a half he's had ever since picking up his second foul. He swishes home the free throw. 48-30 with a buck and a quarter left here in this first half. Not sure how much damage you can do in 125, but however much you can do, Arizona needs to do it. Burries into the front court, centers for Pete, directed along off left wing. Aristode puts it into the corner. Del Orso backpedals back to the perimeter. Entry feed Awaka. Johnson covers. Awaka turns in the lane. Right-handed hook shot goes down. Tobe Awaka trying to make a difference here late in the half. Meanwhile, Michigan, Gale, up left baseline, gets to the rim, forces it up, slides off the rim, no good. Rebound to Waka, final minute of the half. Arizona running. This is against their normal trend. Del Orso out of the right corner, puts it on the deck, staggers in, banks it up, it spins off the rim, no good. Offensive rebound, Pete. That putback wouldn't go. And Will Cheddar bear hugs the rebound underneath the basket. Gives for Cadeau. Here comes Elliot Cadeau. He'll jack up a straight on 3. That's off the rim, no good. Clatters off the cup. Pete secures the rebound. 7-second difference between game clock and shot clock. And here's Pete on the deck, top of the circle, entry feed. Awaka all around 3 defenders. Had it punched out of his grasp by Johnson. Out of bounds, stays with Arizona. Cadeau not afraid to shoot tonight. 2 of 13 now, but still, what a half he's had. Arizona's largest halftime deficit this season was 7. It'll be more than that here for sure. Question is, how much will the number be? From underneath, Burries, the freshman, trying to get it in for Awaka, and it's intercepted by Burnett. Awaka ended up on the deck. He picks himself back up, and Michigan can hold for the last shot of the half. 15 seconds to go in a virtuoso first half for the University of Michigan, trying to close it out with yet another bucket. Cadeau gives it up high, Cheddar. 5 seconds to go. Cadeau sachets, steps back, pulls the trigger from 3 off the rim, no good. Put back, shoveled up off the back rim by Gale underneath, and that's the end of the first half. Michigan owning a 16-point lead, going to the locker room. 48-32. An injury to Lindeborg, foul trouble left, right, and center. And still this Michigan team goes to the locker room up by 16 points, scoring 48. They've scored 90 or more in all 4 of their tournament games so far. 101 against Howard, 95 against St. Louis, 90 against Alabama, 95 more against Tennessee. And tonight they are on pace for 96 against an Arizona defense that is so very good. Let's take a look at some first half figures here. Are those uniforms black? That's black, right? Like, I know they're trying to pass it off as dark blue, but that looks black. Facts and figures from the first half. Michigan took 41 shots in the first half. Good God. They shot 41% from the field to Arizona's 38% from three-point range. Michigan 5 of 16, Arizona 3 of 7. Foul line, Michigan was perfect, 9 of 9. Arizona was 5 of 9. Rebounding, no edge at all, 23-23. Michigan had 8 offensive rebounds, Arizona had 7. How about the assist numbers? Michigan had 12 assists, Arizona had only 2. Arizona, it does draw some comparisons to Illinois earlier. They're trying to play a little bit too much like individuals rather than a team. 9 Arizona turnovers in that first half. They averaged 10.7 a game for the season. 9 in that first half. Michigan outscored Arizona in the paint 20-18. By the way, Michigan 12 points off those 9 Arizona turnovers. Michigan's largest lead was 18. The halftime lead is 16. Arizona never led. It was 10-1 in the blink of an eye in favor of Michigan. It's 48-32 at the half. You see the halftime score. There was your halftime facts and figures. And now for more commentary on the first half, Seth Eves. Where are you here? Because I'm surprised. I know Michigan's done this to everyone all season long and against good teams. I did not think they could do it tonight against this Arizona team, but they have. And now Arizona, a team that does not shoot a lot of threes, does not make a lot of threes, and does not force a lot of turnovers. That's not an easy route to overcome a 16-point halftime deficit.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what's going to happen when Michigan decides to play a game at full stretch. I tell you, I'm channeling minor Dick Vitale. He said this when he did that NC State North Carolina game in 2013 when State hadn't beat him in a long time, and they played that Saturday primetime game, and they were running North Carolina out of the building. And he was talking about some of the early losses that say, I just find it hard to believe this team lost 3 freaking games. I find it hard to, and one of them was at home.
Yeah.
I mean, I can get losing to Duke on a neutral side. Okay, Duke's really good. Okay, I can get losing to Purdue on a neutral side. Purdue has a lot of talent. They lost to it. How did they lose 3 games? I mean, this is not a bad Arizona team by any stretch. And they're taking the woodshed, and now you tell me they're doing this despite getting virtually nothing from the best player on the team because he was in foul trouble and then he got hurt. He's provided nothing.
5 points in 5 minutes.
And yet, they're doing this? Dan Hurley, you are the freaking GOAT if you pull this off Monday night. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Wow.
And I mean, you're looking here, you got 4 Michigan players with 2 fouls. Lindeborg, Johnson, Mara, McKinney. We don't even know if Lindeborg's going to be able to play the second half. You got Cadeau is 2 of 14. But yet they're up 16 points. How is it possible?
Well, I don't want to brag. Like I said, I had a feeling about this team since October. you know that. I've had a feeling about him since the start of the season because I love the coach. I love what they did last year. He immediately, now I know you had to bring in a lot of transfers to quote change a culture, but he changed the culture after the Juwan Howard error. That's ERROR. And then he turns that around. They win the Big Ten championship. They go to the Sweet 16, hang around for a little bit against a really good Auburn team. And then I looked at the stuff they added. I said, I think this is I kept going back and forth, but I kept looking at the stuff Michigan added. And I was like, this team and Dusty May, I said, I think this is a national championship team. And sure enough, and you know what's crazy about me? You know, I'm stubborn. Stubbornness runs in my family. They've lost 3 games, and I've never wavered off of this. I picked them in my bracket. Even they lost to Wisconsin, like, oh boy, is Michigan frauds? I got those words for you. Me culo. By the way, Indiana, how's keeping Mike Woodson in the family one extra year looking right about now?
Yay.
How's that looking right about now? Holy cow. Here's one of your North Carolina buddies, Keith. Make Dusty May an offer he can't refuse. You're wasting your time, pal.
It's not about the money you're going to give him. It's about the money you're going to give to that NIL fund. North Carolina ain't gonna give Michigan more money than Michigan. Sorry, not with all that tech money.
I mean,
you know who's a Michigan graduate? Tom Brady.
And you know what? I get it. There's some purists out there that are knocking Michigan that are saying, well, is May really that good of a coach because he's using the NIL money? He took FAU to a Final Four.
Yeah,
shut up.
Come on, shut up.
He took FAU to a Final Four. Shut up. But I think it's funny. Again, Matthew, maybe you were right all along about these things.
I normally am.
Like I was, like with Texas people. And you know what? Maybe the coaches and the fans and everybody involved with Michigan State are complete morons. Because Dusty Mays, because that's who I'm hearing a lot of it from is Michigan State people. I'm like, this man in 2 years broke every single one of y'all's brains.
No kidding about that.
And when I say everyone, I'm not talking about the fans. I include Mr. Izzo himself.
By the way, I got an answer on the... By the way, TBS just flashed up a tweet. Cadeau is having the best 2 for 14 game I've ever seen in my life. It really is.
That's amazing.
But I got an answer on the Michigan uniforms.
Hey, North Carolina fans, running him off looked good, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I got an answer on the Michigan uniforms, by the way. They are not black, they claim. This is called Midnight Blue.
Okay.
They're 5-0 wearing the Midnight Blue uniforms this year. But if they win tonight, they won't wear them on Monday because they're the higher overall seed. They'll have to wear home white, which guess what they are in home white this year? 16-0.
Matthew.
Yes.
Dear Michigan, please learn what midnight blue looks like. Sincerely, JT.
Oh, Michigan has struck a chord with JT. JT is pissed.
I am sending you what midnight blue looks like.
Is JT a Michigan State grad? We don't know it. I mean, and I saw these other Big Ten man.
I have sent in chat what Michigan, what midnight blue looks like.
Well, that's pretty much Michigan's normal blue. They should have just worn that.
Yeah. It's like to me that's the same difference as the appeal and challenge difference. I can't tell it, but anyway. Kind of laugh at GT, but and I understand this is supposed to be a halftime report. We're going to talk about UConn later. I don't want to be dismissive. You guys look, Dan Hurley's got that freaking voodoo magic. He'll have something cooked up. But boy, this is going to be a big test.
I'm sorry though. These tweets about the chain smokers is hilarious.
The one NASCAR Chasm had was pretty good. You see that?
I did see that.
No, I hadn't seen that.
JT, send it to him. The one about actual smoking, yeah, send that to him.
The Final Four airing on TBS, True TV, and HBO Max as opposed to CBS is a neat microcosm of the American decline.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What else do we? Oh, God! Look who else has got into it. John Kernan. Why is the Final Four on TBS and True TV? I haven't watched for several years and thought it was still on CBS. Well, if you haven't watched for several years, John, just like NASCAR, why are you commenting about it?
That's a good question. I always wonder when people say, I haven't watched in 25 years. I haven't watched since Dale died. Well, you sure know a hell of a lot for someone who hadn't watched since Dale
I mean,
died.
God almighty, they know the life story of William Sawalich. They hadn't watched, though. But, John...
There was one game earlier tonight.
There was.
Let's touch on that and try to get it somewhat on the rails here. UConn beats Illinois. Illinois gave it a good go late in the game, but it was a little too late. I mean, like I said, Matthew, there is something about having championship DNA, and UConn has it in spades.
Well, that's for sure, because, I mean, they were not bothered by Illinois' size. They were not bothered by Illinois' athleticism. And
the Easter Bunny just came into the studio, by the way.
Oh, heavens to Betsy. And they played a sensational game of just doing what they had to do, because they didn't shoot the ball well at all in the second half. Really didn't shoot the ball well for the game, outside of the flurry of threes they had in the first, 6-8 minutes. But outside of that stretch, they really didn't shoot the ball well. They just made the winning plays that Dan Hurley's teams always do. Another tweet of the day. If I had a wish, it would be Bob Knight was still coaching to see his reaction when NCAA officials told him the start of his Final Four game would be delayed for a performance by the Chainsmokers.
have just...
Yeah, he was going to beat... Yeah, somebody was going to catch... when I say someone's going to catch hell, I mean someone was going to get the belt treatment one of his players got.
God. Yes, JT.
I have just gotten up an image of one of the Michigan players, Lenderborg to be exact, and I color picked the color from his jersey. And believe it or not, it is black.
Yeah.
It has come up as black.
It looks black. I mean, yeah.
Matthew, you should definitely look at the group chat, by the way.
I mean, it looks black. It just does. I'm sorry.
Well, before Matthew looks in the group chat, I have another bit of history about Michigan. They are the first team to lead by 15 or more points at halftime in the Elite Eight and in the Final Four since UCLA in 1968.
Oh my gosh.
And that 68 UCLA team, they were 29-1, and they had some guy named Al Cinder.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Idiot.
I'm sorry. Your reaction to that.
You're such an idiot. God. Yeah, John Kernan, Jerry Punch. What does Bob Jenkins think about this game? Let's get him in there, too.
At every point in a USN broadcast, Seth Eves loses the will to live. We have now reached that point.
Some guy named Al Sindor.
Oh my God, Bob Jenkins.
There's a very fine line between Al Sindor and Junior.
Timed at 10:32 Eastern, 3:32 BST.
God. Jesus God. Bob Jenkins, what does he think about this game? Well, whatever that means, I'm glad you're having a good time,
Down to
Dusty.
Bill Weber.
JT did that. Asked you ready to go before we signed on.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, well.
The chase for the national championship cup.
No,
The
y'all.
chase for the crown, Oklahoma and West Virginia, for
tell
all
ya.
7 degenerate gamblers that care.
Let me tell you, y'all have never heard me do a race in the chase. I hope y'all ready for the last 10 weeks of the season.
Oh,
I
I'm sure.
Everyone is ready.
I am sure you've got a crap ton up your sleeve, mister. I'm sure you do. I can only imagine. Oh my God. You think that 16-point blowout in the Final Four was crazy. We talked about it before. Yasel Lindeborg's story is well known. Started at UAB. By the way, Mick Cronin. Less time complaining and more time trying to keep people like a Daimara, huh?
Well, indeed. He didn't bother traveling halfway across the
Mick
country.
Cronin couldn't figure out how to use this guy.
Yeah.
He goes halfway across the freaking country. Dusty May says, boop. Because here's the thing. And here's where the whole thing about, well, Dusty May, how good is he? Here's where that falls on deaf ears. You have to construct a roster. Kentucky spent $22 million. Anybody want to tell me what happened with that roster? There's square pegs and round holes all over the place. They needed a miracle to beat Santa Clara. You got to construct the roster.
Dave Portnoy.
You have to have good coaching. You have to put the right pieces in the right place. And Dusty May has done that. I'm telling you.
Dave Portnoy said the Chainsmokers concert was played as if someone just lost a bet.
Sure it was.
I mean, Lord of mercy. It's back on CBS next year, right?
As far as I know. As far as I know now. Now, they could have changed it on me, but, I mean...
Back in Detroit next year, of course. The national championship game officials, by the way, will be James Breeding, Jeff Anderson, and Kip Kissinger. They have a low bar to clear.
Jeffrey Anderson, the high-need guy.
Yeah, they have a high bar to clear after this one tonight.
And I want to make it clear. Officiating ain't why Arizona's down 16. Because if anything, Michigan's getting screwed by it more.
Yeah.
I mean, freaking heck. What was the other thing? I mean, just...
How's that crown going, by the way?
That's why I said for all 7 degenerate gamblers that actually give a crap, it's Oklahoma and West Virginia will play the championship of that.
Is that tomorrow?
Yes, it is.
And when is that?
It's like at 3 o'clock or something on FOX or 4 o'clock.
How fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Good for Tim Brando got to do that, so I don't know whether to feel good for him or not.
Well,
that is, by the way, the first time I've heard Fox be called FOX.
Oh, boy.
Really?
Oh, boy.
You really have been around with us out that long then. You know, it's another old one to dig out, FOX. I guess you haven't heard us called CBS CBS either.
That goes back a ways. The inside.
Have I opened up a can of worms here?
Redbox will remember that we used to host a show with one called the Sports Brunch once upon a time, and we had one Friday we were just all over the place, and
just wait.
It was like, I've got my eye on you.
Just wait until I start calling Sky SKY, and now that will never happen. By the way,
SKY. What you gonna call what you gonna call ITV? ITV?
ITV.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know what ITV is. They're ITV, as in they're idiots for letting Clive Tildesley go.
Well, that's
anyway.
for sure. Well, America and CBS will take him.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people watching, by the way, probably all thinking the same thing simultaneously. These two are idiots.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah, these two are idiots. Why am I still around listening to this?
Two Americans and a random Brit just doing chaos. Yes.
I mean, but yeah. Okay, a couple more here. Yeah. What? Is that Mara again? Yeah. Wow. Wow. Watch out, Yaxel. It's gonna be a 1-1. It sure is.
God.
And then the creme de la creme, as I send it back to you here. What a first half blowout for Michigan.
Well, Michigan doing to Arizona what Jeff Gordon would have done to Jimmy Johnson in that aforementioned Indianapolis match race at the Open.
Jeff Gordon would have beat them all in the Indianapolis match race,
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
He would have won them all.
Jeff Gordon would have just won them all. Tonight, Jeff Gordon goes for history. Tonight, Michigan goes for history.
And now we have officially brought Jenkins in along with Kernan and all
What
the
is
rest.
happening?
No, well, Yaxel Lindeborg is back on the court here before tip-off, and he's...
Yaxel Lindeborg is back, folks.
What in the wide world of sports is happening?
No one knows. So
That's a new track
Lindeborg...
record. Yes, Wally, that would be true.
Lindeborg is out of the locker room. Like Willis Reed, he has emerged.
That's a record. First foul in the center. That's the quickest we've had. 1 second in, we get a foul. That's the quickest we've had a foul and a half. Yes, Wally, that would be true.
See, we've gotten him started. He's not going to stop now.
Yes, I am because the goat announcer's got to do the thing where the goat producer does.
Oh
his
yeah,
things.
yeah. More like a goat's behind.
What?
I don't know. Lindeborg will start this second half as Michigan comes in what they tell us is midnight blue uniforms, maize numbers, white trim. Lindeborg played only 5 minutes in that first half. Yes.
There, in the light, it looked a little bit more midnight blue. When it's out of the light, it's black.
It's black, yes. Maybe it's translucent. I don't know what translucent even means. Arizona inbounds.
I don't think it's translucent, Matthew.
And the Wildcats start the second half with the ball down by 16. And Jaden Bradley starts this second half with 3 fouls. He swings it to his right, and Braden Burries launches for 3. Clatters off the rim, no good. Merez Johnson Jr., the rebound for Michigan. Flushed ahead in transition for Cadeau. Cadeau, who missed 12 of his 14 shots in that first half. Threads a bounce pass. Mara tried to lob one to the rim for Johnson. Intercepted by Karchenkov. Arizona the other direction. Michigan gets back defensively. Karchenkov in the lane had to force Burnett away. Lofted back to the outside. Burry's entry feed. Karchenkov in the lane and forcing up a shot was Pete. It was blocked. He was able to get it back to the outside. Burry's lines up a left wing 3. Line drive. Swirling miss. Rebound Michigan. Here come the Wolverines. Anytime you want to take your camera off this stupid angle would be nice. Johnson top of the key, up for 3, off the heel, rebound Arizona. On the outlet, here's Burries again. Left-handed dribble into the front court. Centers one up top to be taken by Krivas. Krivas gives it up. Karchenkov pulls up for the foul line. That's no good. Rebound off the floor, snagged by Burnett. And here come the Wolverines. 16-point lead. Burnett leaves it just inside of midcourt for Mara. Handoff Cadeau. Mara sets a screen at the top of the arc. Cadeau from the left gets to the elbow, winds his way inside, and he's bumped and fouled. Is that on Bradley? If that's Bradley, it's his 4th. Bradley has just been called for his 4th foul.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
4th foul on Bradley? Yes, wow.
He was... That's not a foul. That is not a foul. Oh, my Lord. Inbound from underneath, lofted to the top of the key. Lindeborg feeds Mara. Mara off the top of the circle, shoveled on back for Cadeau. Up with a lob, and Mara catches over the top of the rim and slams it down. Adai Mara has 17 points. Michigan leads by 18. Arizona's got to start figuring things out quickly. Pete gets to the right elbow. Pull-up jumper won't fall. Rebound Lindeborg. Feeds Cadeau to bring it ahead. And he'll set the Michigan offense. Off to Mara, off left wing. Dribbles to his right, handoff. Lindeborg elevates for three and slingshots it down. Lindeborg's second three. And Michigan is running away from Arizona. At the other end, Del Orso turns the corner, dishes off to the left baseline where Karchenkov hits a right-handed floater. Arizona's first basket of the half. They trail by 19. Michigan at the other end with Cadeau, takes a screen, slashes left, in the lane, wraps it back up top. Johnson free to fire. Right wing three, missed wide right. Rebound taken by Krivas, shoveled on ahead for Burries, flip to Karchenkov. He'll drive to the rim, splits through two defenders, wild layup, high off the glass, no good. Mara's there to secure the rebound. Loops an outlet up the far left side of the floor. To be controlled by Burnett, puts his head down, chisels inside, drives to the rim, lost it on the way up. Arizona up with the loose ball, Burries hits the Jets, he's 2 on 3. He'll go to the rim anyway against Mara, missed the layup, follow dunk, also wouldn't go for Pete. Michigan's back the other way. Cadeau at the top of the key, scoops it inside, Mara to the rim, layup no, defended by Krivas, rebounded Burries. Burries into the front court in a flash, and Cadeau just sticks his arm out and grabs him and knocks him to the ground. Breakneck pace right there, and eventually a foul by Cadeau stops play. And both teams just a bit out of control here the first 3 minutes of the half. 53-34. Arizona will inbound, that foul on the floor, so they'll inbound far side front court. Mara goes to the bench to get a breather. Arizona has already triggered 9 shots in the first 3 minutes and change of this half. They've missed 8 of them. Inbound Burries, high string Krivas. Burries up with a straight on 3. That misses, but we've got a whistle. And we've got another foul going against Arizona. And that is on Krivas, his third. So a third foul on Krivas gives it back to Michigan. And the Wolverines bring it back up. Cadeau at the top of the key. Johnson screens, flip to the right wing. Lindeborg lines up another and splashes down another 3. Playing hurt, Lindeborg still looks like a cyborg. Arizona back the other way, desperate for something to go their way. Pete leans into traffic, muscles up a shot from just outside the restricted area. He banks it in and draws a foul on Namari Burnett. Chance at a 3-point play for Koa Pete. Yaxel Lindeborg's mother diagnosed with cancer not too long ago. She's made it to so many games this season as her son has turned in one of the great performances of recent time in college basketball across the season. Pete's and 1 free throw, looks at the basket, bends the knees, flicks the wrist, good follow through, and it's good. 56-37. And Arizona, the only way they get back into this game is if they blitz Michigan over the next 8 or 10 minutes the way Michigan normally blitzes teams. Through some Arizona traffic, the Wolverines get it into the front court. Burnett tried to dribble his way in off the right baseline, instead swerved it back outside. Lindeborg along the arc right to left, hands off. Gale against Pete. He'll drive in on him, and Gale lost the ball, stolen by Burries. They again do not have numbers, but Burries doesn't care. He'll go to the rim in transition. His layup was blocked. They're going to count that basket. It was basket interference. And that's going to lead to a timeout on the floor as we hit the first media timeout of the second half. Michigan leading by 17 at 56-39 in Indianapolis. And Seth, nothing to start this second half to tell you that Michigan's going to have a meltdown and let Arizona back in this game.
once again, for those of you that might not be overly familiar with college basketball, and this team somehow did find a way to lose 3 games. I mean, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, what a performance!
Meanwhile,
Red Box looking very good for his bracket right now. Yeah.
So apparently the report, Seth, an MCL sprain for Lindeborg.
Ain't no way. Let me rephrase that. I know I sent it to you. Yes, I sent it to you. Yes, the report is right. I'm just saying generally, ain't no way he's got an MCL playing like this. Ain't no way. I mean, how much longer before we get to the point where we got to sit him out for the rest of the game? I mean, good God.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, I've never had an MCL sprain, but if that's how, if you sprain your MCL and you can shoot threes like that, I think I'll take it.
I think I will too. By the way, since March the 1st, Yaxel Lindeborg is shooting 64% from 3.
Huh.
That's pretty good.
Meanwhile,
By the way, I don't know. You go ahead.
We just had, I don't know why anyone would do this during a Final Four game. Michigan has just landed a 5-star recruit. It
Of course they have.
just been announced 4 minutes ago that Brandon McCoy, the number 18 ranked player in the SC Next 100 in the class of 2026, has committed to Michigan. Did he watch that first half and that was the nail in the coffin of his decision?
By the way, I don't know how the voting ended up, but if I had in my mind, I would have voted Yaxel Lindeborg second in National Player of the Year voting behind Cam Boozer. And then I probably would have voted Darius Acuff third. By the way, Matthew, I don't think you can disagree with the fact that Fred Hoiberg won National Coach of the Year.
No.
Did an unbelievable job. Gave Nebraska fans a thrill of a. I know it ended with a loss to a rival in the Sweet 16 in heartbreaking fashion, but all in all, he gave that fan base a hell of a ride that they had been lacking in all the major sports for some time.
Yeah, no doubt. Michigan on the inbound, and my goodness, a 3 landed by Trey McKinney. Right corner triple hit right off the trigger end. 8th 3 of the game for Michigan. They lead by 20. Arizona at the other end. Looped inside. Pete tries to create space. Falling away. That fadeaway jumper in the lane partially blocked by Mara. Ball rolled on the floor, and Pete was able to pick it back up. Shot clock is inside of 10. Del Orso handles. He's doubled on the outside. Tries to turn his way around Lindeborg. Contested fadeaway jumper. That was partially blocked. Scrap for the rebound. Ball is out of bounds, but the shot clock has expired, so it's a turnover by Arizona. It'll go to Michigan. Holy smokes. You know, we did the Players Era games around Thanksgiving on the predecessor of this channel. And this is what it was like. You watch Michigan play quality opposition and tear them to shreds. Here's McKinney out to his right, behind the back, no-look feed. Lindeborg fake to 3, back to McKinney, right wing 3, in the air, and that is good as well. McKinney splashes down a couple of 3s in a row. Pete, again, trying to just take over out of pure will and might, forced it up, glass and rim miss. Awaka was there for the offensive rebound, and he puts it back in. 62-41. Awaka's got 8 to go along with 7 boards. Cadeau blitzed with a double. Out of his hands to Mara! Oh my goodness, he just explodes on the rim with a 2-handed slam. The rim is still crying. Burry's at the other end, step back jack, and he splashes down a 3. 64-44. Burries with his first downtown hit of the night. He's only got 7 points right now, averaging 18 a game in the tournament. Here's McKinney. Back up top for Cadeau. Mara there to set a screen. Cadeau around it. Swings it. McKinney on the deck. Drives up the middle. Stops left elbow. Fadeaway jumper. Why not? Why not for Trey McKinney? He's got 8 of Michigan's last 10 points. They're doing it for fun. Right corner, Del Orso, centered for Awaka. Looks to his right, back for Del Orso, on the wing, bounce pass, in for Pete, mid-post right, cross-court, airborne catch in the left corner, Karchenkov weaves his way inside, draws a foul on his way to the rim, and Karchenkov will go to the line. You know, the margin is not, it's not that kind of margin yet, Seth, but this is reminding me of the first Final Four game I ever did. This reminds me of Villanova, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Karchenkov misses the first. Bradley, I mean, Tommy Lloyd has no other choice than to bring Bradley in right now with 4 fouls. Lindeborg to the bench. Like Seth said, if Arizona doesn't make some kind of dent in this, by the time we get to the 6 or 8 minute mark, you're going to be thinking, Lindeborg doesn't need to see the floor again. Wait until Monday. Second free throw good for Karchenkov. He has to head to the bench to get a breather. Aristode is back in for Arizona. We know crazy things can happen in this tournament. We all sat right here, all 3 of us sat here in this same call and watched a crazy comeback happen 6 days ago in Washington, D.C. But the way Michigan's playing, it feels virtually impossible for that to happen here. Cadeau launches. Oh, my Lord. He hits a right corner 3, and now every shot they're putting up is falling. The lead is 24. Arizona just has no answers. Awaka, offensive foul. I thought he was going to get away with that. There was no immediate call, but he just lumbers into the lane, extends the forearm, and throws Cheddar down to the ground. 5-second rule. You can still pick up a piece of cheese off the floor and eat it, as it's an offensive foul.
Wow, we get this portion of the broadcast, huh?
Michigan is shooting 48% from the field, and they're now 11 of 24 from 3. Cadeau on the ball at the other end. Moves to the top of the circle, steps back for 3 again! This is unimaginable! Timeout, Arizona! Cadeau fires down another 3. It's 72-45. Impossible.
I mean, I've been the biggest Michigan backer all year, and I'm still amazed that this is happening. I mean, this is an Arizona team that's been among the best of the country all year. I mean, you've been of the belief, Matthew, that you thought they were the best in the country. They're treating them as if they're playing Lemoyne on a Wednesday night.
Yeah. I don't recall being this shocked in a long time as far as the score of a game involving 2 teams this good. Wow. Villanova, Oklahoma, by the way, that ended up as a 44-point final margin.
And as I open up the tweeter box, every other tweet I'm seeing now is 2016 Villanova, Oklahoma.
Oh, really, is it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is it really is what this is reminding me of, because you know, Seth, that Oklahoma that was not some Cinderella fluke run that Oklahoma got to the Final Four with. That was a good team. And I mean, they got
no.
absolutely
Yeah,
smashed.
Buddy Hield, National Player of the Year.
I mean, this is. I can't imagine. I never thought that this would happen. And again, you look at a score like this and you're thinking Michigan's got to be shooting, like 65%. Or they're shooting 48%.
Matthew,
JT.
you know how you like to say, look at them go?
Yes.
I have just listened to a clip from Onboard Artemis 2, and there is a voice clip of the Houston Mission Control saying, look at them scientists go.
Well, here's another one, Matthew. And it's something that I just sent you in our solo chat. I find it hard to believe Michigan lost. I find it hard to believe they were a scotch away from losing to Penn Damn State.
Remember how close they came to losing to Northwestern? Wow, I went real Marv Albert right there. Northwestern.
Yeah, well, see, that game kind of summed them up because they were down double digits in the second half. They were like 8 or 9, and they still won by like 13.
Yeah. Arizona inbounds out of the timeout. They've only got one timeout left. Bradley slips it inside. Awaka turns, hooks it up. No. Aristode kept it alive. He tried to go back up with it and lost it. Here comes Cadeau and Michigan. Off into the right corner. McKinney swings it up top. Mara shovels it back. Cadeau behind the screen. Drives his way inside. Hits the brakes. Throws up a lob. Mara impossibly dunks it down at an angle that you just have to see to believe. Everything we're seeing here is you'd have to see it to believe it. Like Ripley's Believe It or Not. Here's Burries in the lane. Running floater bounces twice off the rim and drops in. 74-47. Michigan pounding Arizona into submission with still better than 11 minutes left. Cadeau up high, out for a screen comes Gale, whips it for Mara, top of the circle, and Cadeau just got thrown down away from the play. Foul is called, and you're going to get a lot of frustration like this from Arizona players further this game goes on. Remember what happened second half between Michigan and Tennessee last Sunday in Chicago. That was a blowout game, and Tennessee players started to get frustrated. And Michigan, this group of Michigan players, they kind of are in your face. Some people would say cocky. When you get a blowout like this and those Michigan players dancing and screaming as much as they do, you'll see some testiness show up, and hopefully it won't turn into that. And I would think that Tommy Lloyd will probably have his team under control, but you'd think that Rick Barnes would too. Sometimes the emotion of the players just gets the best of them, and no coach can control it. But Cadeau just got shoved to the ground there a moment ago, and that leads to a timeout on the floor. See, we talked earlier about a modern-day college basketball dynasty with Dan Hurley and UConn, and he's reached 3 championship games in 4 years, and they're 18-1 in the last 4 tournaments and all of that, Seth. We've been talking about how amazing this run is from UConn. God almighty, what if they beat Michigan? What if they come out Monday night and beat this Michigan team?
Well, regardless of, I'd already come to the conclusion that before this game started that if UConn wins another national championship, you got to start thinking about Dan Hurley as a top 5, top 7 coach now, don't you?
Yeah.
All time. I mean, we're talking all time now with him if they win this game, if they win this championship, because of just the era he's doing it in. I mean, Lord have mercy.
By the way, we've had some silly moments the last half hour or so. Do want to be serious here.
You could say that again.
Yeah, you could say that. Do want to be serious here for just a moment. First, to thank the near 2,000 people that tuned in to watch Illinois and UConn, to watch our first Final Four watch-along of the night. Great to have you all with us earlier. Like I said, nearly 2,000 people. That's awesome. If you're new to us and you like what you're seeing and mostly hearing, but there is a visual aspect to this. If you like all of that, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. But on a serious note real quick, Seth, and we'll wait until the next time out to get deep into this. Final Four Saturday, always very important day for the two of us, as this is kind of when it all started. 9 years ago now, and we always like to call Final Four Saturday our little anniversary, and here we are celebrating it again. More on that at the next timeout. Arizona brings the ball up the floor out of the timeout. Karchenkov curls into the lane and gets pushed down and fouled. 74-47 here, with still better than 10 minutes to go. That foul, the fourth team foul in Michigan. Michigan has 23 points off of turnovers. That's basically half the amount of total points Arizona has as a team. Talked about Arizona being in the Final Four for the first time in a quarter century. Also, we're trying to become the first team from out west to win a title since they did it in '97. It's been so long since a West Coast-based team won this title. As Bradley spun inside, had it slapped away, grabbed by Burnett. Another Arizona turnover. And Michigan will try to take advantage again, as they have all night long. As I just said, 23 points scored off of turnovers alone tonight. McKinney, top of the key for three, hits again! They've made 7 threes in this half alone. Burry shoots a three at the other end. Halfway down, pops out. Pete with the offensive rebound. Lefty layup on the way back up. And prior to that Pete layup, the lead, as you saw on your screen, was 30. 77-49. By the way, Michigan hitting all these threes. Arizona had held their opponents in this tournament to shooting 28% from three coming into this game. That number's going up a little bit here in this game. Here's Burnett getting blitzed, and he has it stolen. Bradley off the turnover in transition. Lumbers towards the basket and draws a blocking foul on Burnett on the floor. 5th team foul to go against the Wolverines. Michigan, a national championship in 1989. And they have not won one since, but they have been close. What's it been, Seth? 4 times they've been in the championship game since then? 91, 92, 13, and 18, is that right?
Who, Michigan?
Yeah.
Yeah, 92, 93.
Yeah, 92, 93. Sorry, not 91. That was, of course, Kansas and Duke. Mara back in. Yeah, they've been to 4 championship games since that 89 title. Haven't won any of them. Losing to Duke in 92, North Carolina in 93 as Bradley makes the free throw. Louisville in 13 and Villanova in 18. And, I mean, think about those teams that they lost to in those 4. I mean, all-time teams. Duke 92 particularly, Villanova 18 particularly, Louisville coached by Pitino, and how terrific of a run that team went on. And here's Mara faking a bounce pass. Now he turns it back out to the perimeter. McKinney drifts to his right, drives the right baseline, puts his bat to his defender Karchenkov. McKinney's trying to post up Karchenkov. Oh my gosh. McKinney underneath the basket. Don't make that. Oh, if he made that, end it. Out of bounds to Arizona. McKinney trying to post up Karchenkov. Took it all the way to the basket, just didn't make it. Jim Boeheim and Mark Few in the seats here. Of course,
that's an interesting pairing.
Sure is. Of course, Few is the head coach at Gonzaga for so long, as Burries draws a foul on a pull-up jumper from 12 feet away. Lloyd was Tommy Lloyd, an assistant to Mark Few at Gonzaga for 20 years. Jim Boeheim asking if there's any need for a Final Four to be played in Indianapolis.
I knew that was coming from you.
It should be at the Carrier Dome.
Oh, it's the JMI Wireless Dome, by the way, for starters.
No,
Jim.
it's
You don't know what
not.
building.
It's always the Carrier Dome to me.
Okay.
I'm Jim Beheim, and I approve this message.
Oh, Jesus, God Almighty!
Burries.
Now you're gonna have JT. You're gonna have JT chiming in the next 30 seconds, asking, "What the hell is going on?"
Burries hits the free throws, 25
What the
point game.
hell?
Mara, top of the arc, looks to his left. Bounce pass on a back door! A dunk down by Gale. Adai Mara at 7-3 just triggered a backdoor bounce pass as if he played for Pete Carrill. Koa Pete hits a straight-on three at the other end. Adai Mara just bounced a backdoor cut pass perfectly to Roddy Gale. They are doing stuff that you wouldn't dare to do in game action. You'd barely do it in practice. Mara hits a pull-up jumper. Foul line extended off the left.
Now you're at the point for Michigan where you're like, save some for Monday.
At the other end, 3 good Burries.
21 assists to 4.
I'm left stunned. This is not happening, surely. But it is. Michigan into the front court. Mara. He'll shoot a 3 from here, given that much space, and he'll make it. Dribbles to his right. Shovels it off to Gale, turns the corner, drives inside through a nest of defenders, put it up, slid off the rim. Pete the rebound. Flushed ahead for Bradley. In full flight to the rim. Bradley banks it home with the left. 81-60 with under 8 minutes left. Bradley had a 3-point first half. 4 here in the second, playing with 4 fouls. McKinney into the front court for Michigan. Oh, my goodness. And he and Karchenkov come crashing into each other, and a foul is called on the floor against Karchenkov in Arizona. Timeout on the floor with 7:33 to go, 81-60. The Michigan Express not slowing down for anyone. Buckle your seatbelts. Please stay seated at all times. Wow. As I was saying, Seth, it was 9 years ago this weekend, not to the day. I think I said earlier it was April 1st. I believe it was actually April 2nd. I could be wrong on that. But anyway, again, we don't celebrate the date. We celebrate Final Four Saturday is when this all started. The Ultimate Sports Team, if you will, started. With that Final Four out in Phoenix on the past platform, the old platform, which is going up massively in cost, by the way.
Is it?
Oh, God almighty. I mean, like, quadrupled the price. But this is where it all started, Seth, was on Final Four Saturday with Gonzaga and South Carolina playing a men's Final Four game in 2017, and 9 years since, well, I'm going to say a mouthful right here. In the 9 years since, our lives have never been the same.
Nope, they have not. They have not. They have not. And, you know, we talk all the time, Matthew, off there about, you know, things that are, you know, about, well, hey, we're this, and, you know, boy, our life, what would we do with that? And we were both like, oh, we can only imagine. But seriously, our lives would not be as entertaining. And, you know, it's kind of a connector thing, because without you, Matthew, I wouldn't have known about JT or JB or Matt White or anybody else that we do things with. So it's been a hell of a run here.
Pierre Moss.
It is a hell of a run here. Arizona was the Ken Palm #1. They had won their 4 tournament games by a combined 80 points.
Hold on. Did Seth Eves just completely blank Pierre Moss?
Yeah.
Wait, what now?
Seth Eves completely blanked on Pierre Moss.
Oh my God! That's the last person I need to blank out on. He's partially responsible for
Yeah,
this.
if it wasn't for him, it wouldn't have happened. I say that all the time. I promise you, if it wasn't for him, it wouldn't have happened.
And not to mention, and I mean no disrespect to either one of you two, but he is, and I hate that he's not here to hear this, he's genuinely the nicest person I've ever come across in my life.
I know. But yeah, it's been a heck of a 9 years, and again, I said this last year at the end of the NASCAR season, when we, for all intents and purposes, put that past chapter to bed. If it wasn't for Pierre, this wouldn't have all started, and if it wasn't for JT, this YouTube channel wouldn't have started. Just no way.
Hey, yeah, if you listen to us, do you think we're really smart enough to come up with this on our own?
Yeah, really.
What the hell is happening with the international feed right now?
The international feed just said, F it, I'm going home.
Cadeau on a drive, loses the ball out of bounds. It'll go back to Arizona.
What is happening? I can see that the shot clock is at 7 minutes 15. I can tell you the score is 81-6. Yeah, I don't know what else is happening.
Here comes Arizona into the front court. Bradley brings it up under a left-handed dribble, gets around a screen, staggers into the lane, gets bumped, and a foul. Yeah, there's a technical problem, all right.
Stop. Sorry, there's a technical problem. Your event will be back soon, as soon as we fix it. No, there's a technical problem.
Whoa, did someone just cuss?
Foul is called on Cadeau, his fourth. I know good and well he didn't just do that. Bradley will shoot at the line. Oh, my Lord. Bradley's first free throw is good.
Yes, believe it or not, the JBM Discord server does have a bleep button.
Look at
I
this.
did not know if...
Look at this, Seth. Lindeborg is back in. You have thoughts on that?
I can't see, though.
Dusty, I just sat here and gave you this big defense of you as a coach. Don't make me regret it.
Please don't tell us where Lindeborg is as far as an NBA prospect. We don't care. Second free throw is good by Bradley. We're on the Mike Tomlin plan when it comes to NBA draft status right now. We do not care.
There we go.
Michigan into the front
look,
court.
Came back! Woohoo!
Clear picture and all. In living color, Lindeborg blitzed with a double, kicks right wing, Gale up for three, no, off back iron. Long rebound came out to Del Orso. Arizona, for what it's worth, is on a 15-4 run. Del Orso steps into a transition three, twice off the rim, no good. Offensive rebound ripped away by Awaka, who goes back up, and then Mara lackadaisically blocks it. And Gale brings it back the other way. Long looping feet ahead. 20-foot pass met in the left corner by Lindeborg. Back up top. Handled by McKinney. Swept along for Gale. Pitched up top for Mara. Waka tried to get the steal. Mara instead has it. Darts it down low. Johnson turns around the defense of Del Orso and scores. Back the other direction. Arizona with it. Burries. Puts it up top. Bradley crossover dribble. Pull-up jumper from just beyond the foul line. 17-footer is good. 6 minutes to go. 19-point game. Michigan has 6 minutes to score 7 points. And they will have gone over or at or over the 90-point mark in all 5 of their tournament games. Mara at the other end. Holds the ball with just his right hand. Directs it to the left for Lindeborg. Blitzed with a double on the perimeter. Gets rid of it. Gale open. Fake the three. He'll drive up the right lane line to the rim. Gale shovels it up. No. Tap follow. No from Mara. Johnson got it back. Keeps it alive. Through traffic. On the floor. Mara scoops it up. Shrugs off an Arizona defender. And we've got a foul going against Arizona on the floor against Burries.
To whom it may concern, I now have a headache. Thank you, TV pictures.
By the way, we were talking about that. You know what I could say without a shadow of a doubt? JT's life has been changed forever by the creation of this channel. Gale inbounding into the near right corner for Mara. Mara turns. Awaka defends. Mara going to try to post up on him. Mara backs into the right block. Mara just relentless. Oh, my gracious. Turns, scores, And a foul. Red box's life. What is Boban doing here? Hold the hell up. That's Boban is... Why is Boban in the Michigan student section?
No, I don't know.
Mara's free throw is good. Yeah, Red box's life would not have been the same if not for this channel.
Oh, well.
Look at this. He started in the Arizona student section.
God.
Hat barely fits the man. Mara with that and one has 26 points, new career high. Nearly a turnover by Pete. Jab step, gets to the right elbow, pulls up jumper. Story of the night, it swirls around the rim and misses, and Michigan has the rebound. Michigan into the front court. McKinney dribbling off the right wing, back pedals, deposits it inside. Johnson, mid-post right, backs in on Bradley, turns, banks it up, no. Rebound, Awaka had it, lost it, but a foul is called, and it's against Michigan. Arizona's in the bonus. In fact, both teams are in the bonus now. Going to be Michigan and UConn on Monday night as long as this holds, and we feel pretty confident that it is. And what a meeting that'll be. Which will, I mean, let's be honest, that's going to be... Terrace Reed has been a menace this entire tournament. What he does against Mara, I don't know. And another one-and-one miss at the line for Arizona. 86-64 as Cadeau pushes it out off the left wing. McKinney. And we got another foul just for good measure. It's an offensive foul. I believe it's Cheddar on an illegal screen. Bradley letting the ball roll out to midcourt before picking it up as if that's going to save time in a comeback bid. Gives it up to Burries, whose rainbow three misses everything. This is, this tournament so often is fun, exciting, madness. But often this tournament is not fair. And just like it wasn't fair for Darius Acuff's last game, we assume, in an Arkansas uniform to be an absolute blowout loss as Cheddar misses a three. Wasn't fair that Duke's season, terrific season, came crumbling down upon them last week as Bradley hits a driving layup. This is not fair that Arizona, this season is going to end this way for Arizona. But again, fair is where they have pie-eating contest and judge pigs. As Cadeau brings into the front court. Don't always get what you deserve. You get what you earn in this tournament, and Michigan has earned it all this season and tonight. Cadeau, what in the wide world of sports did we just see? Cadeau threw up a lob. Mara tried to catch it and dunk it, couldn't. He was holding onto the rim, but Cadeau got the offensive rebound and laid it in just as Mara was coming off the rim. They have made baskets literally any way they could possibly. This is a circus tonight. Bradley, a wheel around, baseline jumper, no. Back tap on the rebound, collected Karchenkov. Reloaded to Burries. Left wing three, halfway down, popped out. Rebound up for grabs, and we've got a foul going against Arizona, against Krivas. Final media timeout of the night. Michigan steamrolling their way to Monday. 88-66. An unthinkable performance of domination tonight from U of M.
what do you do now? I mean, how do you put this in? Like I said, I want to save some for when we get at it for the sign off, at the end. But I mean, it's just unbelievably hard. It's just, it's hard to put in perspective what's happening here with this game. It's been amazing.
Our guy JT takes off tomorrow, and he will be frantic to get some amount of sleep. So we won't be on for very long after the final buzzer here.
No.
Not sleeping.
I'm not saying we're going to have a 15-minute filibuster here.
No.
This isn't going to be like Senate hearings. I'm just sitting here telling you I'm going to ask you a quick question after the game, and I'm going to size it up. That's all I was saying.
I am warning you now, guys, that I am leaving in 1 hour 6 minutes, so there's no way I'm sleeping. So take it as long as you want.
Well, so much for that idea. But but anyway, what I was gonna
Thank you anyway.
What I was gonna turn to what I was gonna turn that into was JT's not gonna stick around with us and give many final thoughts, but I guess he could. Anyway, JT, I know again, like we've had some silly moments here, but how do you view this? This is ridiculous.
There's one word, Matthew. Dominant.
Well,
There you go.
That about sums it up. Villanova beating Oklahoma in that game in 2016 that we talked about, 44-point final margin of victory. That is the biggest blowout in Final Four history. We're not going to get to that point. You had UCLA beat Houston in 1968 by 32. UNLV beat Duke in the championship game of 1990 by 30. And in 1961, Ohio State beat St. Joseph's by 26. Also by that same margin, Kansas beat Washington in 1953. We could get up beyond 26, maybe 27 here, depending on how these last 3 minutes go. Yes, JT.
Was that by chance Victory Field we saw on the aerial shot there? The same Victory Field that the Indianapolis party animals will go into battle in May?
It may have been. I was looking down getting that blowout note, so I did not see it. I do apologize.
It was indeed
okay.
The Victory Field.
Very good. Krivas at the line. First free throw was good. Second one is as well. Yeah, sorry. I was totally
There
not
is
looking
our
at the
banana
screen.
ball reference of the
They've
stream. You
announced
can
the attendance has been
tick it
announced.
off your bingo cards.
Attendance,
Final Four
yes.
attendance tonight, 72,111.
Can we see the game instead of those 5? I know it's a blowout, but I bet.
As much as I hate it too, that's why we're never playing this in a basketball arena, at least in our lifetime.
That's for sure. Cadeau no-look pass into the right corner. Gale muscles his way in, and just for good measure, in a blowout with 2.5 minutes to go, the official underneath calls another foul, just for the funsies of it.
God.
I bet that altcast tonight's been fun.
Jeez, Adam Lefkoe probably hadn't got.
I say that's why I have 2 different languages available. I'm assuming.
Oh no, no.
I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that.
Oh!
I'm not touching that.
Gale hits the first free throw.
I have no idea what I've done right here, but okay.
Matthew, you know what I bet that allcast actually has been?
Gale
So this game's been going on for what, about an hour and 40 minutes now?
Hits the second one too, yeah.
I bet 50 minutes has been spent praising Michigan, and I bet the rest of it's been celebrating Duke's loss last week.
Arizona ball into the front court. Karchenkov, a wild pass inside. Catch on the right block. Krivas up, scores plus a foul.
this is one of the moments which do come quite often, to be fair, in a USN, is where I say something and I have no idea what I said triggers Matthew and Seth.
I had to take my headset off for that. Krivas with an and one free throw.
The only reason why I said that is because on the Zones app, I have the English language broadcast and I have another language, and I don't know what that other language is. So yeah.
I'll tell you what language they're speaking after we go off the air. Michigan into the front court. Mara hands it back for Cadeau. Defended by Burries. Cadeau jitterbug move off right wing. Mara screen. Cadeau rolls, throws up a lob, swatted away. Taken by Karchenkov, racing back the other direction, spins inside, gets away with an absolute travel, uncalled, missed the layup. Pete's tap follow is good.
Real quick, guys.
Yes.
Dusty May took over a Michigan program that won 8 games 2 years ago. 2 seasons later, he now owns a Big Ten regular season title, a Big Ten tournament title, a 63-13 record, and once official, a trip to the national championship game.
Arizona with a takeaway, and Krivas
That sums the night up.
A dunk on a lob by Karchenkov.
That sums it up. And once again, the second comment I see on this tweet, a lot easier to do when you have college free agency. Well, just ask Mark Pope how that worked.
Cadeau behind Amara's screen. Will dribble his way inside, covered by Krivas, tried to whip it into the corner, Burries with a steal, and Burries will pull up for 3 in transition straight away, clatters off the rim, no good. Cheddar, as he so often does when he gets a rebound, he puts 2 arms around it. Final minute, and a timeout, taken by Dusty May, and he's going to empty the bench.
Yeah, are we going to see his son again after he hit that 3 against Tennessee?
Certainly going to see Oscar Goodman, freshman from New Zealand. Malik Cordell, a freshman from Oberhausen, Germany.
By the way,
and there's Charlie.
I don't know if you knew this or not. Dusty May was actually courtside scouting the first half of the UConn-Illinois game.
He was, yeah. That was CBS. TBS.
I get it. I get it. Dusty, I'm not saying that he did not shell out the cash for the team. But like I said, you got to have it in the right place, and you got to coach. And your heart goes out to that other man, Tommy Lloyd. He had a great year, and they're going to hear from a bunch of idiots that said same old Arizona, and that is not the case.
Yeah, they're a bunch of morons. At Michigan inbounds, they did bring Dusty May's son Charlie in, who hit a 3 against Tennessee Sunday, and the bench went absolutely ballistic. Here's a drive inside by Burnett, and a foul is called, because why wouldn't one be, with 39 seconds left. Yeah, this is a tough. It's going to be tough scenes to watch these Arizona players. Their season just it's unfair that it ends this way, but as I said, sports have never been fair and never will be. First free throw missed by Burnett. Evan Nelson, fifth-year senior out of Tucson, Arizona, who spent the first 3 years of his collegiate career at Harvard. He's into the game for Arizona. So too is Addison Arnold and Jackson Francois. Burnett hit the second free throw. Arizona into the front court. Arnold trailing the play. Gets it to Sven Chopmo from France. He has it at the top of the key. Slices between 2. Spins. Gives it up. On the elbow, Arnold. Bank shot doesn't go, slipping in for an offensive rebound. Still wouldn't fall for Arnold. Ripped away by Goodman. And we get a foul, do we? This Michigan team, they've been a vibe for a lot of this season. There was a foul called in there, and Oscar Goodman,
oh, of course there was,
from New Zealand, will shoot free throws, 2 of them. Missed the first.
You notice how I did not do the rule about leaving my mic closed if it was a close game, because it was never a close game.
It was not a close game.
Michigan is the first team in NCAA tournament history to score 90 or more points in 5 straight games in a single tournament.
They did reach that mark. Free throw missed. Jotmo the rebound for Arizona. Final 10 seconds. Jotmo will drive the lane. Layup banked up, no. And Charlie May gets the rebound. He'll be the last to touch it. May in Michigan motor on to Monday. They're going to the national championship game for the 8th time in program history. They led 10-1 out of the gates and never once looked back. A lethal performance from the Michigan Wolverines tonight. Final margin will read as 18. Wasn't even that close. A disheveled Arizona team and fan base will only be left to dream and think about what if for this season. But tonight, they went into a Michigan meat grinder. Dusty May is pretty good. He's taken the Wolverines into the national championship game, and as we mentioned, into another title game, the 5th time they've made it to the title game since they won it all in 1989, and they have not won it since that 89 final against Seton Hall. They will open as a decided favorite on Monday. Tracy Wolfson's got to be thinking, this is a dream. Wow, what a moment for Tracy.
Okay. I know it's 4:35, but
well, not
okay.
Oh God, no, we're not. No, she went She went to Michigan, JT. That's all. She went
to Michigan.
To
Jesus, JT, get your mind out of the gutter.
That's the way to end it.
And is routinely seen when not working. Is routinely seen, whether it be at games or in like supporting Michigan athletics.
Yes,
that's all that is.
That's all it is.
God Almighty. Here's another statistic for you. That goes back to when seeding began in '79. Again, you want to talk about this, the biggest tease of all, just lack of context thing of all time is that this game was an 18-point game.
Yeah.
Margin of victory. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Michigan's 18-point victory is tied for the largest in a tournament game between 1 seeds since the seeding began in '79.
Also, I find it funny how they always are able to choose the shortest reporters for the tallest basketball players.
Oh, well, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Matthew, there is a collaboration of Tracy Wolfson next to all basketball players' pictures that we might need to get JT in on.
Taco Fall.
I cannot wait for a 6'7" tall reporter with a 6'7" basketball player.
Taco Fall on line 1. Be Michigan and UConn Monday night, an 8:50 p.m. tip time. That's Eastern time. We'll be on the air on this channel at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time for the national championship game Monday night between Hurley's Huskies and May's Michigan Wolverines. There we go. Very good.
There's a couple of more coming.
Yeah, very good. But Seth, let's wind this one down after another Final Four Saturday. ends up with UConn ousting Illinois and Michigan with a demolition of Arizona.
Well, it's one of the more stunning results that, in my near 30 years of watching the Final Four and being a college basketball fan, that I've ever seen. Because in a Final Four, I mean, Villanova, Oklahoma was stunning. Do not get me wrong. But, and while that was a really good Oklahoma team that had the National Player of the Year, everybody in the sport, including the two of us, we were guilty of it, talked about this and built this as a matchup of you either said it was two of the best teams or the two best teams in the country all season long. And as I said, Michigan treated them as if they were playing Lemoyne on a Wednesday night in November. This was just an absolute disaster. Just an absolute demolition and a bludgeoning. And now, Mr. Owens, I'll let you speak on this afterwards, but I think we have got one hell of a chess match because, yes, Michigan's the better team. They're the behemoth. They've waxed everybody. They are awesome. They have been fantastic, and they have a way of just finding that extra gear. But Matthew, the other team's got an evil genius for a head coach, and you wouldn't put anything past him, would you?
No, you sure wouldn't. It's going to be... it's either going to end up being one of two things, isn't it? Either Michigan's going to win and finally get that second title and cap off one of the most dominant years in college basketball history, or UConn is going to win, cement their dynasty. Hurley cements his place in the lore of the sport, and we start to think, who's ever going to beat UConn again? It's going to be one of those two results on Monday.
I mean, yep, it's going to be something. And of course, I mean, listen, you can debate how much this really matters per se in the landscape, but, we are in a society now where we talk about things from a conference landscape. And to quote your favorite racing announcer on a night you and I both loved, the Big Ten on that well-publicized championship drought. And it's been a long time, and it's been 26 for the men, 27 for the women. I got a chance to erase both those coming up, but so this is going to be an interesting situation, Michigan and Arizona. I'm going to do one more before I sign off and give you a full schedule of what happened before we got here. JT, do you have any thoughts on what I mean, you're a college basketball novice, but even you had to believe that you had to be impressed with what Michigan did tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see that the Tracy Wolfson thing is a running thing and that I have just came upon. And I didn't even realise that it was a running thing. What is this thing about her standing on a ladder?
That was the talk that Donovan Clingan 2 years ago.
Indeed.
The thing that makes the Adai Mara one big is that she's wearing her heels in that one. I actually there was like a tweet one time, something like a photo, name a photo or something that doesn't feel real or most iconic photo of all time, and I tagged her in it. It was that picture of her in Taco in Colombia that year, and then and she actually got a good laugh at it. She was a good sport about it, and like I said, I think she's the best reporter, sideline, courtside, whatever you want to call it, reporter in the business. I know, Aaron Andrews is popular. There's a lot of other good ones, but I think she's the best, and she's going to be objective and play it right down the middle. But don't you know, if Michigan finished this off, it'll probably be the greatest night of her life.
Yeah.
If they get it done. Now, with that said, so yes, that is a thing. But yeah, Michigan with his impressive win, and your heart goes to Arizona and Illinois. Tommy Lloyd and Brad Underwood, amazing job this year, and just couldn't get it done. Underwood's team just couldn't find offense, and Lloyd's team just ran into a buzzsaw. But still a great year. Arizona, if you're doing a ranking at the end of the year, should be no lower than like 3 in it. I mean, they were just absolutely amazing. So a reminder, busy couple of days on the channel as we put it in. I've made up a term for this, Matthew. A college basketball finale festival, if you will. And it continues all weekend long. So here's what's coming up on our networks in all sports. Here on the channel, tomorrow, 11:15 a.m., we've got the final FA Cup quarterfinal, West Ham against Leeds. Two squads struggling in the bottom half, looking to get a semifinal berth to bring some positivity to their seasons from the capital city of England. That's at 11:15. Then at roughly 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll go on a little bit before that. We'll have the Women's National Championship game from Phoenix, South Carolina against UCLA. And then prime time, 8 o'clock, Sunday night basketball, if you will. Tulsa and Auburn, the championship game of the men's NIT. For people like JT and others, that's basically college basketball's equivalent of the Europa League or the Conference League. And it's not a direct comparison, but it's just the best one I could think of. And that'll come your way tomorrow night. So a great night tomorrow. Then Monday, 10 a.m., we've got Bolton and Stockport County. That's a big game in League One. And it all leads to Monday night, prime time. Game's going to start about 8:50, I think is the tip time. We'll go on a little before that probably. The national championship game, the University of Connecticut and the University of Michigan, to determine who will be the champions of college basketball as the madness will come to a grand conclusion. So, that pretty much wraps it up. What a night indeed. My thanks to the best producer of the business, JT, Pierre Moss. Shout out for him for chopping it up with us. And, of course, Matthew Owens, who just did an immaculate job calling games, as he always does. My thanks to all them. And so it's all set. Hurley's Huskies go for 3 in 4 years, while May and Michigan look to put a cap on an all-time special season. For the whole gang,